Good morning, my coffee cardboard crew. Today we are going to be reviewing and giving feedback to fan-made deck lists. Something that we've been doing on this channel for, I think, probably a little bit more than 2 years. Has been a very long tradition of the channel. But I am very sad to say, I have some good news and some bad news. I'll give you the good news first, but it's not going to outweigh the bad news. The good news is we're going to review lists for about 1.5, maybe 2 hours. The bad news is that I am basically graduating this content off the channel because while it is a very devoted, the people that love deck list review, they're hardcore for it. I know who you are, and a ton of you pay for it. The sad reality is it's not super popular. My analytics show that a lot of people do not watch, do not contribute enough, and also, well, basically it drags down a lot of analytics on this channel, which, by the way, is booming. It's actually growing really fast, and I have a lot of really cool new ideas that I could use for the space, and we just have to make the cardboard coffee crew as big as possible. So it will be formally, we won't have deck list review on like a dedicated day or anything like that, but it's not completely going to get wiped off. As I do gameplay streams, we can probably do like a deck list review in between leagues or whatever. But those who don't pay don't stay. No, but that's the thing. You guys pay. You'll literally pay for this content. A lot of people paid for this. It's got that really niche popular crowd. We're gonna have 3 paywall deck list reviews today. Kyle Driver, I'm doing great. Good morning. Hello, just texting to check if it still helps the algorithm. Everything helps the algorithm. I kind of missed the custom card vids, but I'm not sure how they did in regards to the numbers. They're doing well, and they're not going away. We're still doing them. They're still coming up. So anyway, okay, we are going to do deck list reviews today. We'll do it for quite a while for a big bang. I remember people really wanted this type of content when I started Coffee and MTG. And it looked like it, and of course it did have its really popular following. So this will be at least the last formal deck list review. So, how do we do this? Oops, no, that's the wrong one. Where's my music? There we go. It's time to review deck lists, and if you want your deck list reviewed, you're going to go into the description, you're going to find my Discord, you're going to find deck list review, and then you're going to use the command !review deck space, give the URL to your deck list, and you'll be eligible at random for deck list review. Well, it was fun, RIP deck review, and it will still exist in some form, just not formally for Coffee and MTG, that's all. Jermaine says, deck list review is my favorite. I can see who it is its favorite. It's favorite for a lot of people, but it's not a favorite for everybody. It's not for everyone. Okay, so let's go. Oh, hold on, I gotta turn off my air conditioner. A, I don't need it, and B, I can't hear myself think. So let's first get through some general deck list reviews. I will have a long one. We'll have a long one to set sail to deck list review. We got 50 people in the queue. Who's gonna get chosen today? Okay, I've selected a random one, but it's not going to get is it working? Come on, work for me, please. There we go. The Caleb Poe got selected. Let's see. All right. I suspect it may not be a favorite for those who doesn't have their decks selector. I don't think so. Decklist review is my favorite about your show. Discussing new competitive decks is important for the community. It is interesting. There were a few 5-0s that were invented because of random decks that came from Decklist review. Other streamers got inspiration from your guys' deck lists. There's 50 in the queue. Who is going to be selected today? Forever. Spencer Ward will get chosen. He always gets chosen. Well, he only gets chosen because he pays for it. All right, my deck now, says the Jank Constructor. What is the format? Freeform. All right, this is a free. This is called Pony Kitchen Tabletop Magic. Let's see. Expedition map, Soul Ring, Guardian Idol. And there's the battlefield tapped. Can become a 2/2 golem artifact creature until end of turn. Maze Mind Tome, that's a good one. Mind Stone, that's a good one. Chromatic Lantern. Where is this going? Draw 2 cards. We have Mystic Forge. Okay, so you can draw tons of stuff off the top of your deck. Forsaken Monument. What is the win? Is this enough? Whenever you cast a spell, untap all non-land permanents you control. So you can untap your mana. And you have Mindslaver. So can you Mindslaver for victory? Can you loop Mindslaver? Academy Ruins. So in theory, you can loop Mindslaver. 2 Buried Ruin, 4 Island, 4 Urza's Mine, 4 Power Plant, 4 Tower. Just submitted under different names. I suspect some people were doing that the entire time. I do not doubt some people were doing that. Okay, so I have a question. I have a question for everyone. How do we win the game? Is it with the Guardian Idol? Do we literally try to win? Do we lock someone out with Mindslaver? And then we Guardian Idol them to death? What does it do? Enters the battlefield tapped, but it adds a mana. So it's the only thing that adds a mana that can actually kill the opponent. And Forsaken Monument, +2/+2. Whenever you tap mana, yeah, you get double. Cast color spell, you get 2 mana. Because nothing does anything. This is gonna make some casual quit the game. Oh, in the casual, anything goes. That's what, you know what? It's a stress test, really. If you cannot deal with this, then I don't think you can deal with anything. I think I gotta make myself. I'm gonna shrink myself a little bit. I'm gonna shrink myself. Maybe not. Okay. I'm gonna shrink so you can see the rest of the deck list clearly. By paying the opponent to concede, that's how we win. Okay, should we just give this deck like a real win condition? Okay, let's go over some things that are great. Expedition map is great to help find your islands for Academy Ruins, but also to find your Tron lands. Soul Ring is great. Guardian Idol is garbage. Maze Mind Tome is great. Mind Stone is actually a... Maze Mind Tome. Tap, add mana. No, it's fine. It's fine. Not the greatest thing. Chromatic Lantern. Lands you control have tap 1 mana of any color, add 1 mana. This is trash. So, like, there's better... All it is a 3 mana, add 1 mana of any color, which is not really that necessary. I think you can play with those... What are those mana rocks that are 2 mana that add blue mana? You could definitely play at least one of those in here, right? Add a couple Retrofitter Foundry. Retrofitter. Untap Retrofitter Foundry. I like that. Create a 1/1 servo token. Tap 1. Create a servo. Sorry, sacrifice a servo. Create a 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature token with flying. Sacrifice the Thopter. Create a 4/4 colorless construct artifact creature token. Okay, so actually you can't really go infinite with this, but it's better than nothing. If this is the last decklist review, does this mean the decklist review chat will disappear? No, because just in case we want to look at deck lists while I do some gameplay streams, we could still have that available. Although I might be wiping it more often for the people who are just actively there during the stream. So, doesn't it? Where's Karn? I think this is a budget deck. So, hold on. This is not... Actually, this is not even cheap. This is $16. $16! Forget that. We're not putting Karn in here. Oh, that's actually... You know what's funny? Actually, they have some expensive cards. They've got 4 Academy Ruins, and they got 4 Chromatic Lantern. Even though this is completely unnecessary. Hedron Archive. Sacrifice it, draw 2 cards. That's not bad. Mystic Forge, I like it. So my only problem is Chromatic Lantern is not that great. The win condition is really bad. So Chromatic Lantern, 2 thumbs down. And Guardian Idol, 2 thumbs down. We should just replace the Chromatic Lantern, at least for a 2-drop of some sort. Isn't there a 2-drop artifact that adds blue mana? Or am I wrong? I could have swore that there was those... They had like blue-red, blue-green. They like add 2 colors. Or do they need colored mana to activate those? Metalwork Colossus? You don't go infinite, but with Paradox Engine you can flood the board pretty quickly with 4/4s. Yeah, I think that's totally... With Thopter Foundry? You have to sacrifice artifacts, though. Yeah, the talismans. Maybe it's the signets. It's a lot of those. Yeah, this is exactly what I'm talking about. So, like, this is... Because you only have blue in the deck. So just play Is It Signet over this Chromatic Lantern. It's cheaper. You don't need to add 1 mana of any color. You're only playing Academy Runes. This is your only spell. This is the only card relevant in your deck that needs colored mana. So that's an upgrade. And then replace Guardian Idol with some random win condition. You know what? I really don't care. This one is good, but this is expensive. Is there like a cheaper something like Retrofitter Foundry? Isn't there something that make goats? I can't remember what the goat maker is. There's something that make goats, and I think it wins the game by itself, but I don't. Maybe I'm wrong. This is a great win con, though. This is a great win con. Thought Monitors. If that's cheap enough, I think that's a great card. I don't know if it would win the game, though. It's cheap! It's cheap! $1 something. This is very, very undercosted. I am the goat maker. Psi Master Thopterist will make Thopterist to win. I love that, actually. I love that. Okay, so play a Psi Master Thopterist. I love that. And you don't need to get, like, the Mindslaver lock on to make it work. You just get Psi out, and then you start playing your artifacts from there on out. And you make tons of artifacts. You can sacrifice artifacts to draw cards. This is a great suggestion. If anything, this deck should have 3 of them. And I would suggest actually fitting some... maybe even take out Forsaken Monument. So we take out 4 Guardian Idol. We put in 3 Psis. Maybe the last one can be a Thought Monitor. And the last Forsaken Monument can be a Thought Monitor. I think you can just win by flooding the board with tokens. And I think it would work well with your... what's it called? Your Mystic Forge plan, because you can look at the top card of your library and just play the stuff off the top and just go crazy. Go ham, as we would say. Excellent suggestions, everyone. All right. Thank you very much for submitting the deck list. Next, we do have some paywall deck list reviews, but we're going to wait for the chat to fill up a little bit more. I can't hear the music. I can hear it now. We got Kazong next. Ooh, on a website I've never seen. I've never seen this website. MTG Vault. I feel like I've heard of it, but I've never seen it. Defender deck. Oh, God. But that is the spirit of deck list review. You never know what you're going to see on this. Was this your deck? I don't know. Oh! I don't know. The last one? Yeah, the last one was your deck. You'll have to see it on the replay. MTG Vault is pretty okay. Alright, well. I'm not going to check it out, but I'm going to take your word for it. What is this thing? Okay, we have Axebane Guardian. Oh, does it not show... Oh, there we go. It's a little bit delayed or something. Or what? They're going to show me the forest? Show me the cards, damn it. Okay, the Axebane Guardian. Green, 2 generic. 0/3 with Defender. It can add mana of any combination to your mana pool or X the number of creatures with Defender you control. It sounds like allies. Overgrown Battlement. Defender, add green to your mana pool for each creature with Defender you control. The Perimeter Captain. 1 mana for a 0/4 Defender. Whenever a creature you control with Defender blocks, you may gain 2 life. So does it have Doran or not? I don't see the Doran. Shield Sphere. Count as a wall. 0/6. I'm assuming this is also a kitchen tabletop deck. Stalwart Shield Bearers. White, 1 generic, 0/3. Other creatures you control get +0/+2. So you're building the big wall. Tuck, Rubble Fort. Red, 2 generic for 0/3. Defender, reach. Creatures you control have haste. That is useless. Is this literally Defender Mana Dorks to shoot a big X spell? I have no idea. Vent Sentinel. Vent Sentinel deals damage to target player equal to the number of creatures with Defender you control. You can pay this ability by tapping it and having a red and 1 generic. And Well and Blossoms, draw a card. The best. This is the best Defender of them all. Oh yes, this appears to be the deck. You play your Banefire for X damage, or your Devil's Play, and you can flash it back. Actually, this is a really good one. So yeah, the idea is just sit tight. I'm surprised you're going with all these. Like, you don't have, like, aren't there, like, much better walls out there? Like, super great walls, like Wall of Denial. Like, no one can get through the Wall of Denial. I think this deck actually should have been a little bit more blue. It should have been blue, white. I mean, what are your colors here? Your green, your red, your green, red, your white. You should have maybe splashed blue for Wall of Denial. And also Wall of Frost is pretty good. Like, these walls punish. They punish people. Wall of Roots. Oh, Wall of Roots is also... Well, Wall of Roots shrinks. It shrinks, right? Better walls printed in the last 10 years. Yes. And Wall of Omens. Yeah, they have the Wall of Blossoms, which is great, by the way. I think it's the best wall. But you need Wall of Omens. I think if it doesn't add mana, it should have been one of the walls that I've described here. I think it's fine to have all the mana walls in it, and you should add Wall of Roots. It's a good one. I think it's better than a lot of these other ones. Wall on turn 0 is pretty pointless. Which one is that? Is this one Shield Sphere? 0. Actually, this is not... Maybe I don't... 0 mana for a 0/6. If Shield Sphere is assigned a blocker, put a 0 -0/-1 counter on it. Interesting. So you block with it and you it gets smaller. It gets a little weaker every time. Debt to the Dauntless. Debt to the Deathless. Each opponent loses life 2 times X. You gain life X equal to life lost this way. It's not in our colors. We're not playing black, and it's just insanely expensive. We might pay X for 1 or 2. Pretty expensive. Colossus of Akros. Colossus of Akros. We got 8 mana, 10/10, fly, Defender, and Indestructible. Monstrosity 10. As long as this is as long as Colossus of Akros is monstrous as trample and can attack as though it didn't have Defender. I don't think this makes the cut because it's just too expensive. Assault Formation. I sort of agree with this. We should have, like, at least one way of attacking. Each creature you control assigns combat damage equal to its toughness. Oh, this doesn't... Yeah, target creature with Defender can attack this turn as though it didn't have Defender. I think it should have a few of those things. So I think some of these walls should be upgraded. Probably instead of Genesis Wave, you should have Assault Formation. I'm sort of okay with the Devil's Play and Banefire, though. Elixirs of Immortality. I mean, if you really want Genesis Wave, you could replace those with that. Although I don't find that this card is quite necessary either. You need to win the game. Like, you can't just sit there forever. Someone's gonna go around you or blow up the wall or something. I mean, unless you've got Wall of Denial. It's going to deny everything. Where's that denial? There it is. There's the Wall of Denial. Yeah, the elixir is totally not necessary. I don't even think Genesis Wave is necessary. Green, green, green. Reveal X top cards of your library and put any number of the permanents. In this deck, it's a bit too poopy. You don't have ETBs. You have very few. You have, like, what, one ETB as it is right now? The Wall of Roots. But I think we've given you some good tips and ideas for improving this deck. Even though I know it's... You should probably load up on a lot of more of these. Comes into play tapped lands. Because your mana is a bit jank. City of Brass helps. City of Brass does help. Absolutely. Maybe, actually, you're a little low on lands. So maybe you should... The Elixir of Immortality should just be more lands to help smooth out your curve. Or just smooth out your mana base, period. Anyway, thank you so much for submitting the deck list. Maybe we replace Elixir with Heroic Intervention? No, we don't need to protect the plan. The plan is get mana and shoot face, for the most part. Shoot face. Most people are probably not wasting their removal on walls. Probably not. Unless there's a Ragavan involved, then it needs to get through it. Alright, one more freebie. Then we'll go through some paywalled ones. Trunic! Page not found. You got scammed. You got... Hold on, let's... Is it true? Page not found. You got scammed, Trunic! On the last... You got scammed. Sorry about that, Trunic. It's probably privated or something. Salud, you want to be part of the stream? Salud. Oh, the cat's coming. Okay, the next one we got Foxy Gammy. You coming or what? Foxy Gammy. I changed the list. It was a Simic Flash for Pioneer. I changed it to Baby Flash. Great list. Oh, don't worry, it's deleted. You don't delete things on deck. You never know. You might have had something golden there. Okay, so chromatic stacky avatar. Okay, we have... What's the format? Format is modern. Alright, I'll just skip the mana base. Mercy killing. Target creature's controller sacrifices it. Oh, Millmaster with the huge super chat. If you would know who controls you, see who you may not criticize. Tacitus. You're turning into quite the philosopher, Millmaster, and I like it. Thank you so much for the amazing super chat. And the wise words. Okay, so... Mercy Killing. We've got a hybrid of Selesnya and 2 generic. Target creature's controller sacrifices it. Then puts X 1/1 green and white elf warrior creature tokens into play where X is that creature's power. So it's like Beast Within almost, but only for creatures. Rakdos Charm. Oh. It's like each creature deals 1 damage to its controller. So what, like okay, let's look at the whole thing. I'm not gonna jump to any conclusions here. Abundant Growth, Dress Down. Oh my god, it's 5 colors or something. Ghostly Prison, Solitary Confinement, Sphere of Safety, Spreading Seas, Sterling Grove, Trespasser's Curse. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under enchanted player's control, that player loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. So what is the deal? I guess the deal is, well, you've got Solitary Confinement, you got Ghostly Prison, you actually don't care about what you give them. Does this try to win the game? Each creature deals 1 damage to each controller. That's like just it's a one-time thing. It's Enchantress with a twist. Yes, it does. Avatar of Might. If an opponent controls at least 4 more creatures than you, it costs 6 less to play. Hunted Phantasm. Unblockable. When it comes into play, put 5/1/1 red goblin creature tokens into play under your opponent's control. Then set this harvest hand. I don't think these are really necessary. And there's no way to force your opponent. Well, I mean, this is the only card forcing your opponent to get creatures, right? Needs Massacre Worm. Alright, I'll hand it to you guys. Okay, so we do have Forbidden Orchard, which I like, because this is a very heavily multicolored deck. You don't seem to mind giving your opponents creatures. It is modern, so we only have access to Ghostly Prison and not Propaganda. This feels so jank, it's almost glorious. Oh, it's jank, alright. I don't know if Mercy Killing is necessary. I would like to see more of this card or none of them. And I actually might be inclined to say none because you have a high curve. You're doing a lot of stuff at 3 mana. 3 and more mana. You have 2 mana, but then you have 3 mana. Maybe it's okay. Maybe it's okay. I don't know. No, this is 3 mana. This is 2 mana. It's close. Like, I might want more Idyllic Tutors over this Mercy Killing, if necessary. I mean, it's not even all that necessary. I mean, what is it? It's like sort of necessary to get your Hunted Phantasm out. Sort of. Or Avatar of Might. Cost 6. And then when it's on the battlefield, does it do anything? Like, is this actually a win condition? Sphere of Safety. Yeah, there's one Sphere of Safety in here. We could use another one. Authority of the Consul seems really strong as an early game play, and it might be. Authority of the Consuls. Creatures your opponents control enter the battlefield tapped. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under an opponent's control, you gain 1 life. I don't think it needs Utopia Sprawl, to be honest. Although I like Utopia Sprawl a lot in this deck. Is there a description so we know what the creator had planned? Great idea. Oh god. Updates. Okay, this deck is based off of David Yavino's 5-color Avatar of Might deck from 2019. I have no idea. Okay, this is the last deck list review. Let's just go on this rabbit hole. I don't know what's gonna happen. Let's go watch something. Also, let's partially watch a Disney ad.
Deck. Okay, let's check it out. Versus Bant.
5-color Avatar of Might
so
in Modern. I didn't even know this
we've
ever
got
saw play in Modern.
And that's because there's going to be some weird cards. And that card that he's reading right now is Forbidden Orchard. You can tap...
Did the guy win?
Good run to them, though, this deep in the tournament.
This feels more like our Magic Trivia section of today's coverage.
This is weird. One side actually has Worship. You can't see it. Hold on.
Cards can you actually identify?
There's a Worship on the battlefield over here, which is funny because I thought the left side is the enchantment deck.
Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under enchanted player's control, that player loses 1 life and you gain
we got a reader.
Yeah.
I love it.
Okay, so how does this deck even win? I'm assuming it wins.
Team.
Stacking the Ghostly Prisons.
Advantage of Ether Vial.
Did it win? How did it win is what I really want to know.
A couple procedural missteps.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah,
oh, I guess this is the enchantment that will make them lose life. This is the curse.
And the Trespasser's Curse ticking away. Remember, there is Worship on Lelandy's side, but the Trespasser.
Last time I saw Worship was Eldrazi Winter. Actually, Spirits played it for, quite briefly. Yeah, the curse goes past the Worship because you lose life. You don't take damage. And they're at 1 life, and they're about to die.
All right, and we're just going to scoop them up here. That's
okay, I got it. Sort of. I've always liked this deck. I wanted to see if I could put it in a Stacks Enchantress shell. So here it is. The main game plan is give your opponents tokens in order to make Avatar of Might. I think, actually, if are there more of these types of curse cards that deal damage? I think that would just be better. I don't even think Avatar of Might is even that good in this deck. Because your opponent, if they're not attacking, they might just bring... It's just going to die, too. Like, well... Maybe it's somewhat resilient to removal. Like, it gets but I imagine you can like block with a creature and then kill it with like Unholy Heat or something. Sugarcane doesn't like the Rakdos Charm. Okay, so let's go over cards we like and we don't like. I'm not in love with this, and you only have one of them because I think you also know this is not great. You could lean harder into this card. It's possible, and I wouldn't be against it, but if you're only confident in one, I believe if it's a one of, it's a none of, so I would get rid of it. Rakdos Charm seems pretty unnecessary, but at the same time, it's like a flexible card to have in the main deck. I don't know if I should hate this card. Like, it's not that great with... It doesn't have that much synergy with your deck. I guess it's like a random way of winning the game at the last second. Maybe it helps increase the clock. I like the flexibility, though, that you can exile target player's graveyard. That's very useful right now in the metagame, and destroying target artifacts are also useful in the metagame. Abundant Growth is great. Dress Down is fine. Ghostly Prison is great. Solitary Confinement is great. Sphere of Safety is great. Probably you should have more. Spreading Seas is good. I think given the fact that we're living in an Urza Saga world, this is a good one. Sterling Grove, of course, is great. Trespasser's Curse is fantastic and very important for this deck. Avatar of Might, I'm not really in love with this card. I'm not, honestly not in love. I'm a little bit more in love with the Hunted Phantasm because this card is unblockable. But honestly, this one's a little bit more resilient to all the removal in the format. You can't Prismatic Ending this thing, you can't Unholy Heat this thing, you can't Fatal Push it, can't Lightning Bolt it. Illness in the Ranks plus Slaughter Specialist is hilarious in this style of deck, but vaguely off color. Well, this deck can play any color, though. So this Harvest Hand is great. Idyllic Tutor is fine. It's a little clunky, is the problem with the Tutor. So those are my thoughts. Real question is, did that deck have Avatar of Might? Yeah, I understand the rest of this. So this is my way of making a 2-year-old deck a bit viable in the current meta. I think, at least I think. Well, the thing is this. Since then, like, we've got a lot of it. I mean, you see in the deck, you have a lot of Enchantress pieces, and the deck should just be Enchantress at this point. Enchantress with Trespasser's Curse is the win condition, and I think that's totally fine. You just stack the Trespasser's Curses until they're dead. Meat Hook seems like a great control piece. Oh, Meat Hook Massacre. The Hook! The Sloth! Do you guys see the Sloth? I made a meme out of this thing. I didn't get a lot of likes on Twitter. Not enough people. I always saw a Sloth here. You can just see him hanging. I don't see a hand. So, enters the battlefield, each creature gets -X until end of turn. Whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life. Whenever a creature an opponent control dies, you gain 1 life. Oh! That's quite nice, actually. Yeah, I do like this card. It can stall. It can stall for a very long time. And you can, and if any of your stuff dies, okay, that's fine. The opponent loses life. Although, do we have that many creatures? I think this is it. This is all we have for creatures. You just ruined the art for me. Yup. There's a Sloth now. Now all you have to do is put the googly eyes on him and a bit of a smiley face, and you're good to go. I didn't notice anything in this. I saw nothing but a Sloth the entire time. Meet Sloth Massacre. Sloth from Goonies? I've never seen the Goonies, to be honest. Okay, I don't really have much to say. I mean, like, I'd prefer that the win conditions were a little bit different. I don't really think this is that great of a win condition, especially since it's still... Like, if your opponent doesn't... You don't have any removal yourself, so they're going to have blockers, and it's not going to get through any of the blockers. And I don't think Hunted Phantasm is a little bit better. I like this card a little bit more, because it's unblockable, so you just attack, and they can't block, period. And that could win, but I'm not in love with the Avatar of Might, to be honest. And in replacement, you could always play more... we can play the Meat Hook Massacre. The Meatball Massacre is just freaking amazing. The Meat Hook Massacre. It's like a teddy bear version of a Sloth. Absolutely. Exactly. Break out the Artist Altars. Okay, hold on. How about your mana base? I think the mana base is okay. I think? Forbidden Orchard is okay. So my problem is the avatar is trample, but the avatar is not gonna be, like, blocks. Because, of course, this deck... And you give your opponent creatures with a lot of stuff. So, I mean, and there's no removal in here. So your opponent will just block the avatar. And I'm telling you, they will block the avatar. They're not attacking with any of their creatures, so they're easy to sacrifice to just put it in front of this thing. And, yeah, just use their creatures as removal at the very least. At the very least. Phantasm seems like a sloth in itself. Yes! Sloth tribal. The goblins. Okay, what are we replacing with Avatar of Might? And I'm really sorry that you probably built this deck around this thing, but I think it's absolutely the weakest creature. Or it's the weakest card in this deck. Do all the creatures share a creature type? Nope. This is an avatar. This is a spirit. Hunted Dragon. That one's a bit different, isn't it? Flying Haste. When it enters the battlefield, target opponent creates 3 2/2 White Knight creature tokens with first strike. That might be a slightly better card, but it's not a... There's no cheap way of getting it in play. The other cards were cheaper to get in play. Also, I think this is very off color for the deck. I don't think there's any red in here. Maybe we can't make that work. Witherfang would keep the Avatar of White. Alright, keep the Avatar of White. I will say this much. The day that your opponents block this thing, and it dies, and then you realize, oh, Nikachu is right, then you get rid of it out of the deck. If that day doesn't come, then fine, leave it. Leave it alone. Alright, thank you very much for submitting the deck list. Alright, now let's look at some paywall deck list reviews. People paid for these things. Who's the first one? The first one is from Balder, actually. Balder loves deck list review. Okay, so this is a Cleric deck. If I understand correctly, this is modern. This is modern. So we got Soul Warden, Cleric of Life's Bond. What do these things do? Okay, Soul Warden, I know. Creature enters the battlefield to gain 1 life. Cleric of Life's Bond. Whenever another cleric enters the battlefield and you control, you gain a life. Whenever you gain life for the first time each turn, put a counter on Cleric of Life's Bond. So it's like Kasali Pride Mage meets Soul Warden. Sort of. You only get 1 counter. Underworld Coinsmith, black and a white, 2/2 creature with Constellation. Whenever Coinsmith or another enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, you gain a life. Black, pay a black or white, pay 1 life. Each opponent loses 1 life. It's a pretty poor card. Righteous Valkyrie, love it. 2/4, 3 mana flyer. Whenever another angel or cleric enters the battlefield under your control, you gain life equal to that creature's toughness as long as you have 7 or more life. Then your starting life total creatures you control get +2/+2. This is actually a very, very good card. Veto. And actually, it's very interesting that you're playing... Like, I played this in an Angels deck. You're playing it in a Cleric deck. Veto. Thorn of Dusk Rose. Whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life. I hate it. I actually don't like this card. I think it'd be better if we played the enchantment. Is the enchantment modern legal? Because this thing's just gonna die, and you have to... I would rather... If we have enough mana to activate the ability... Creatures you control gain lifelink until end of turn. I would rather we just spent that mana on the enchantment that is very hard to destroy. No, this is a modern. It's modern sugarcane. Balder's about to kick my ass with this deck. Are you guys friends? Oh, you're together. I think I have your deck list reviewed also. This guy comes in off the Angels, does damage. This guy, you mean Veto, deals 1 damage. Whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life. I mean, okay, so you play it earlier, and then you gain life. Okay, we'll keep it. We'll see how it works. Angel of Destiny. Flying double strike. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you and that player each gain that much life. At the beginning of your end step, if you have at least 15 or more life, then your starting life total, each player Angel of Destiny attacks this turn loses the game. Not in love with this card at all. I would rather have... I don't know what I'd rather have. It doesn't look like we have anything else to change this with. Okay, 3 Ether Vial, Cleric class. Whenever you gain life, you gain that much life +1. Love it! Yeah, I wouldn't even level it up after that. I love it. Whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control, and when this class becomes level 3, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. You gain life equal to its toughness. Wow, this is very good in this deck. I would want more. I would want more of this card. This deck needs Voice of the Blessed. You mean Bedsheet Elemental? Bedsheet Elemental? White, 2/2 creature. Whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on Voice of the Blessed. As long as Voice of the Blessed has 4 or more counters on it, as flying and vigilance. Okay, we're gonna find some room for here. We're gonna find some. Whoops. Okay, so we'll find room for this. We will find the room. Cleric class. Okay, I like Cleric class so much that I want more of them. Swords to play. This is supposed to be mod. I thought this was modern. Oops, sorry. I thought this was modern. Balder, you told me this was modern. Swords to Plowshares ain't modern legal. Demonic Tutor, that's not... Oh, so this has to be Legacy. Is this modern or Legacy? Because some of these cards are banned or just not even legal in those formats. It's modern? Okay, well, we have some problems. Some problems, Balder. Don't show up into your next local game store with this. So first off, Demonic Tutor, that's banned. That it doesn't exist. What else doesn't exist? Swords to Plowshares doesn't exist. I'm gonna add more Cleric class. So you have it in the sideboard. I'd have it in the main deck. I actually think this card is insane. I really like this card. If you would gain life, gain that much life +1 instead. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure this card is insane. Blind Obedience. Oh, that's interesting. Artifacts and creatures your opponents control enter the battlefield tapped. Would it be worth it, though, to have that other 1 mana enchantment, like Authority of the Consuls, because it costs less mana than this? Artifacts and creatures your opponents control enter the battlefield tapped. Maybe it doesn't matter that much. Yeah, Demonic Tutor is banned in Legacy. You know now. Okay, you want the Extort. Alright, we're going to give you the Extort. Blind Obedience, 2 paths. We could probably keep that. Demonic Embrace, enchant creature. Enchant creature has +3/+1, has flying, and is a demon in addition to its other types. You may cast Demonic Embrace from your graveyard by paying 3 life and discarding a card in addition to paying its other costs. +3/+1, has flying, and is in a demon. No, this is not good enough at all. This is definitely getting scrapped. Exquisite Blood. Oh, you have that Exquisite Blood. Okay, first off, okay, let's add more vetoes. I honestly think we should have more. I was like, let's scrap this thing. No, if we're building our deck around this, let's have more of it. Don't need to go to 4. I think 3 is enough. So yeah, Solitude might as well be the Swords to Plowshares. Should we have Solitude in here? We could Solitude some of our own creatures if we need to. Is the Extort that much better than Authority of the Consuls? Well, Extort is a win condition. Extort hurts the opponent. Authority of the Consuls doesn't do that. I don't know the new Merfolk Lord. How about this? This will be a long stream today, because this is the last deck list review. After that, we can look at some of the things. We can look at some of the new cards that are coming out. We'll go back to some news type content that we haven't done in a while. Oh my god, I hate Monday Fridays. I hope everyone else is having a good one. Today Friday? Yeah, today's Friday. My, the days go by. Add more Path to Exile? I don't think so. You know what we can do? We can add Solitude. I don't think Path to Exile... Well, Path to Exile is okay. How many cards do we have? We have 68 cards in this deck. We'd have to add 2 more cards in the sideboard. Pacifism is like... You don't even want this card. Are you on a budget? Do you want the best deck possible or best deck on a budget? I just realized your deck is like skin and bones here. How do you pay for review? It's impossible now because this is the last one. Well, maybe it's not impossible. Maybe during streams I could do it, but you have to be there for the stream. So maybe I don't want to do it in advance because you would have to be there for the stream later. Wait. Says Balder. Yeah, I think this deck is on a budget, so okay, we could use Path to Exile as a really good removal spell. That's fine with me. Sideboard, Cavern of Souls, Pacifism is very poor. Underworld Coinsmith, this is not really a sideboard. This is not really a good sideboard. I'm gonna get rid of that enchantment again. Exquisite Blood is fine. Vengeful Reaper, Flying Death Touch, Haste. Like, these are just awkward bad cards. Like, this is not what a sideboard is for. Sideboard is for beating, destroying certain decks. Pacifism is just poor. Underworld Coinsmith. We might as well put this in the deck, right? Enchantments give you health for Coinsmith? Not worth it. Not worth it at all. Not even close. It's going to be a very, very, very clunky, poor strategy. Whenever Underworld Coinsmith or another enters about you, I think it's just best that this thing enters. You can pay 1 life and people can lose 1 life and you can like sit behind stuff. If you want to, you can put Ghostly Prison in this deck. You could put Ghostly Prison. That is not a bad idea. Maybe this is a Ghostly Prison deck. I would not be against this, especially since this is a type of deck that's just trying to sit behind creatures. Although the Path to Exile is sort of contradicting it. Okay, what do we have for black? Okay, we'll keep the Cavern of Souls if you really need that mana. Actually, let's put the Underworld Coinsmith in the main How many cards do we have? 68. I think we have more than enough. Okay, let's fill the sideboard up and we'll figure out the main deck. Angel of Vitality. If you gain life, you gain that much life +1 instead. Angel of Vitality gets +2/+2 as long as you have 25 or more life. Like these are the cards that should be in your main deck or just not at all. Put the Cavern in the main board. I don't know what the Cavern is here, but maybe it's to squeeze in room for other stuff. And then when they sideboard out, there is a world where if you sideboard out the vials, you want to bring in like a land. So there is like to balance out your mana. Why would Cavern be in the side? Sometimes it's in a vial deck. There are matchups where you side out all the vials and then you don't have enough lands to cast your spells, so you bring in a land. Okay, let's get some real cards here. Let's get Rest in... Is it too expensive for Rest in Peace? It might. Okay, look, I'm gonna add stuff to the sideboard and... Yeah, okay, so what else do we have? 21 lands is low, I think. Okay, we'll fix the mana base later. It is low. We'll add... No, it's 21 lands plus Ether Vial, remember, people. Ether Vial is like mana. In some sense, so it's not that bad. 21 lands plus 3 Ether Vial, I actually think is okay. I think we're a little bit low on lands to cast Exquisite Blood, but whatever, there's only a 1-of in this deck. You know what would actually be good in this deck? No lie, Yorion. No lie. This deck should go to 80 and you should play Yorion, because a lot of this is ETB, right? You can blink them. And you just gain a ton of life when you blink the board. Sanctifier on Vec, I like it. Let's have 4 of those. Okay, what else? Oh, that's true. The Ether Vial actually is in contradiction to Extort. Well, no, I don't actually want to go up on Cleric class, to be honest. I'll keep it on 1. I just keep it on 1, no big deal. Kataki. It's a bit awkward, though. Because we have to pay for our Vial, like, every turn. But maybe we can side out Vial. Damping Sphere? Oh, Damping Sphere. Oh, no, what's the other one? No, Damping Sphere I guess is okay. This deals with Cascade, right? Pretty sure this deals with Cascade. Each spell a player casts costs 1 more to cast for each other spell that players cast this turn. Pretty sure that deals with Cascade. Auriok Champion? Sanctuary on Vec actually takes that slot now. Feed the Swarm. We're playing white. We can play Vindicate. Void Mirror. Sure, we'll put some Void Mirrors in here. Like, you need... Like, the point of the sideboard is to bring in heavy hitters for very specific decks. So, like, we've got Damping Sphere here for the Cascade and for Tron. We also have Void Mirror for potentially... For Elementals, and for Cascade decks. Sorin, what do we need the Sorin for? March of Otherworldly Light? I don't mind that, actually. March of Otherworldly Light, just some removal. Okay, I think we fixed the sideboard up significantly. Isolate Chapter, 6 planes, Side, Shadow, Snarl, so you have 8, 14. Okay, that's fine. I think you have just enough mana for each color to play your stuff. Engineered Explosives might be a little pricey. Maybe a little bit of money over there. Martyr of Sense is set up Righteous Valkyrie. You have to sacrifice it, which I'm not in love with. But I'm not real... Okay, so how many... We have 77 cards. Let's take out some... This might be very expensive for the deck, this Exquisite Blood, given it's 21 lands. Path, Cleric class. Maybe we can dump one Cleric class. Actually, this is expensive. Okay. You're playing this later. I can't wait to see how this goes. Yes, I will be playing this deck. Okay, I'm gonna give you the choice, Balder. Are we gonna sacrifice an angel, or are we gonna sacrifice a main deck Exquisite Blood? Because we need to get this down to 75 cards, and I think... honestly, I would rather dump the Exquisite Blood, because that's just harder to cast with mana, and at the very least, this Angel of Destiny can get put into play with Vial. Cut one path? That's possible. You want to cut all the Coinsmiths? The Coinsmith is not that bad, and we do play enchantments, right? Like, we still have Blind Obedience, we still have Cleric class, we still have Ghostly Prison. It's just that they're gonna stick to the battlefield. Cannot wait to see your Vegas list. The Vegas list. I don't even know what I'm gonna play. I might play Mono Blue Fairies. All of the coin... You don't want any of the Coinsmiths. I think this is okay. Pay 1 life, each opponent loses 1 life. I think this is good. I like the card. And I think you should have something on that curve anyway. Because if we get rid of Underworld Coinsmith, you have almost nothing to play on turn 2. Oh, you better believe I'm going to be very careful in Nevada. I was super careful last time. People were inviting me out for, like, dinners, and I'm like, no! No, thank you! And it was a really bad time at that time. Okay, let's blindly take off, like... Okay, I'm going to make an executive decision. I'm sure you really want to see this card get played, but... Is there any card draw at all? I don't think there's any card draw in this deck. We also need the Clerics to, like, get some mana, right? Yeah, we need mana. Everything should... I think if anything, we should have more things that gain life. This gains life, this gains life. Yeah, this gains life. Okay, this is good. It all gains life. It all gains life. And the Sun and Blood is a bit too clunky in this deck, because you need to be playing your Blind Obediences. Okay, I'm making an executive decision. I'm taking out the Exquisite thing. And you still have another one in the sideboard if you really want to bring that in against slower matchups, probably control-based matchups, I think. When your opponent loses life, you gain that much life. This would be great versus Burn if you can get it out, but it's probably too late by that point. Anyway, that is my executive decision. And that is the deck list here. And, alright, so the next one, I believe, is your significant other. And now this deck list is... What's her name? You guys write in this... You guys have this, like, sort of cursive that I can't read in the, Circle of Wrath. Alright, Circle of Wrath's deck list. This is a... technically legacy, but I'm gonna put it in kitchen tabletop territory here. All right, so it's in kitchen tabletop territory. We've got Ignoble Hierarch, Noble Hierarch, Rattleclaw Mystic to bring out the Savage Knuckleblades. If you guys don't remember what this is, it's 3 mana for a 4/4 creature, and it's got some neat abilities. For a red, you can give it haste. For a blue and 2 generic, it's you can return it back to your hand, and also you can give it +2/+2 for a green and 2 generic. And then we got Thunderbreak Regent, red 2 generic for a 4/4 flyer. I like this card because whenever a dragon you control becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, it deals 3 damage to that player. So if you want to kill the dragon, you're gonna bolt yourself. You're just gonna absolutely bolt yourself. Bolt to the face. Icefall Regent, also really good. This is basically Dragon Tribal, it looks like. Flying, when it enters the battlefield, tap target creature an opponent controls. That creature doesn't untap as long as the controller... For as long as you control ice... Oh god, so for as long as you control this creature. And spells your opponents cast that target Icefall Regent costs 2 more to cast. It's like it has Ward 2. So this is a pretty strong dragon. And then we got Miram. The dragon everyone was trying to convince me on. Whenever another non-token dragon enters the battlefield under your control, create a token that's a copy of it, except the token isn't legendary if that dragon is legendary. Thank you so much for the super chat, Circle of Ether. That's the second time I've been called Oh, Cerise! Is it Cerise? The I sometimes looks like an L. I can see where that, well, unless I'm the one who's constantly calling you the Circle of Ether. Is it Cerise? Cerise of Ether? Cerise of Ether? Or Cerise? It's either Cerise or Cerise. Rice or Reese? Aren't there dragon cost reducers? Probably. Yes, it's... Well, this did not clarify anything, but thank you very much. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Okay, we have Atarkar, World Render. Oh god, this is very expensive. Flying Trample. When a dragon you control attacks, it gains a double strike until end of turn. Foe Razor Regent. This is even more expensive. Enters the battlefield, you may have it fight target creature you don't control. Whenever a creature you control fights, put 2+1/+1 counters on it at the beginning of the next end step. Okay, Lightning Bolt, Counterspell. I actually think we should not have Counterspell. I think this is one of the worst cards in the deck because you're probably tapping out. Probably? You should be tapping out most of the time. This is a tap out type of deck. And also, I think we should be... One thing I could say off the bat, we should increase the number of creatures we have on the lower end of the curve and decrease the creatures at the higher end of the curve because we're not casting these most of the time. So we'll have like one of these... Probably one of these. Miram is so good that it will have, and it's cheap enough. Like it's on the cheaper side. We'll have. Isn't the other Atarkar better? I thought there was an Atarkar that like enters the battlefield, blow everybody up. I swear. Atarkar. It was like it was. I actually saw some play. Atarkar. What is this creature called? Oh, sorry, Atarka. Atarka. There's a bigger Atarka. Dragon Lord Atarka. Flying Trample. Enters the battlefield. It deals 5 damage divided as you choose among any number of target creatures and/or planeswalkers your opponents control. I actually think this one's a little bit better. Because it enters the battlefield and you get some effect out of it. You don't have to wait to attack. Like, you may not have any creatures or anything by the time you attack. So, I actually think this one, as Flying and Trample... Whenever you attack, it gains double strike. I don't think that's nearly... It's not even as big as the other Atarka. So we'll put in the other Atarka. Was it the... Which Atarka was this again? Dragon Lord Atarka. Dragon Lord. How do I submit a deck? Oh, sorry, I got rid of the thing. You go in the description, find decklist, go find my Discord, join it, find the channel decklist review, and enter this command, ! Review decks, give a space, put the URL to your decklist, and you'll be eligible at random for decklist review for the next 30-ish minutes to an hour. It's in your sideboard. It should be in the main deck. We're putting it in the main deck. Yeah, we'll go to Formiran, and then we'll up. Yeah, so you're doing a very similar thing as last, as Balder, whereas we have the sideboard. Your sideboard should have heavy hitters to beat certain decks, like graveyard-based decks, combo-based decks, and so on. And you really should have, we're gonna remove all these generic creatures like Savage Knuckleblade, Thunderbreak Regent, Icefall Regent, and actually I want more of those in the main deck because those are the cheaper creatures that you have in the deck. So the idea is let's get as many things in play at a low curve, and then if we get to the late game that we can play these things. I don't think it's insane to think that we'll get Miram in play. That's possible. But Dragonlord Artarka and Foe Razor Regent, gonna be hard. We're gonna, that depends on our mana base. I actually love Temur Ascendancy. I think we should have more of those. Like, I love Temur Ascendancy. I think this is like a very, very, very good card. And I actually should experiment with this in Modern. Definitely should be, run 4 bolts. Okay, we'll look at what we can cut, if there's anything to cut. I actually like your mana base. You have 24 lands and like 1,000,000 mana dorks, which is really important for a deck like this. Yeah, and as Dragonstorm. Switch your library for a dragon card, put into play, then shuffle your library. Which means, yeah, which actually justifies why we only have 1 of these, because then we just tutor them out. You can just tutor out the 1 that you need at any given time. Maybe even Leyline Tyrant to save up red mana? Does that work? Leyline, is he Tyrant? I don't know what this card is. Flying, you don't lose unspent red mana as steps and phases end. When Leyline Tyrant dies, you may pay an amount of red. When you do, it deals that much damage to any target. That is great! That is really good. I might like that a little bit more than the Rattleclaw Mystic. That is an amazing card. And it will help us get to the higher parts of our curve. Okay, I don't know what to remove for this yet. Let's fix the sideboard first. Lightning Bolt probably should be in the main, but I could see it in the sideboard. Counterspell, definitely not. Counterspell is a great card, but you are a tap-out type of deck, and I don't think there's any room to play it. Zurta Druid. Add 1 mana. You have enough mana, dorks. Whenever you tap Zurta for mana, it deals 1 damage to each opponent. I mean, you might as well have this in the main over Rattleclaw Mystic. You could... Does Rattleclaw Mystic really work for this deck? I think it's fine. You could have one or the other. But I'm going to dump this one. Sarkhan the Unbroken. This could be in the main. We need something... Well, we're going to be up against kitchen tabletop decks. I don't know what we're going to be up against, but we'll figure it out. Dragonlord Atarka, we put that in the main already. Tiamat. Like, I think this should be in the main or not at all. I guess we'll keep this in the sideboard, and we'll keep... yeah, like, the curve is pretty high. The curve is pretty high. Maybe we'll take out 2 Rattleclaw Mystics to make room for this Leyline Tyrant. I really like this Tyrant. I like this idea. This is the only thing that is not a dragon. Savage Knuckleblade, you are dragon in spirit. Need to add Terror of the Peaks in here. Oh, there's a lot of dragon cards. This is just basically like, let's ramp into some big beefy creatures. All right, what are we having for the sideboard? What's Terror of the Peaks? I can't remember. Spells your opponents cast that target Terror of the Peaks cost an additional 3 life to cast. Unfortunately, we're getting heavy. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, Terror of the Peaks deals damage equal to that creature's power to any target. It's a good card, but we are running out of space. We are running out of space. Oh, Sarkhan Fireblood. Isn't that the dragon one? Okay, hold on. Add 2 mana in any combination of colors. Spend this mana only to cast dragon spells. You may discard a card if you do draw a card. Actually, this is worth it. This is really good. Maybe we'll cut the knuckles for this thing. This will help get us to our dragons. Okay, Sarkhan Fireblood it is. Oh god, it's expensive. Hold on, is this a budget deck? Because this is actually big money. It's 13 bucks. Playset will run you for 50. This is a very good card, though. It definitely belongs in this deck. But I have a feeling that this is a budget deck. Now add Dragon Tempest. Whenever a creature with flying enters the battlefield, it gains haste until end of turn. Enters the battlefield under your control. It deals X damage to target creature or player, where X is the number of dragon. Nah, I don't like this card. Not in love. No, it is not budget. All right, Sarkhan Fireblood it is. I wonder. Dragonstorm should have what's it called? The Dragonstorm should have tribal attached to it, so that it can be a tribal spell, so we can cast off of Sarkhan. So what is it called? What is the name? What's this guy's name? Sarkhan Fireblood. And we'll load up on 3, I think. Take out some number of Savage Knuckleblades. Maybe we add a Leyline Tyrant and we just get rid of all the Savage Knuckleblades. This is getting chunky. Okay, do you know what? Maybe we go 4. Okay, sideboard. Let's get to the sideboard here. What do we want in the sideboard against random stuff? We need something for a storm deck. We need something for a graveyard deck. Are we going to be playing something like, I don't know, is Relic still good? Relic of Progenitus still good? In, oops, no, not this. In Legacy? In Legacy-esque metagames. If anything, Endurance should be a really good card in here. How many green cards do we have? 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, we could play actually Endurance. Blood Moon for sideboard? I think we're going to Blood Moon ourselves more than we Blood Moon the opponents. Could toss in a few couple Blasphemous Acts for elves and token decks. We'll also blow our own stuff up. Orb of Dragonkind is better than Mystic. What does this say? Kebby G, you go deep. You go really deep. All right, red, 1 generic. Add 2 mana in any combination of colors. Spend this mana only to cast dragon spells or activate ability of dragons. You can pay a red, sacrifice Orb of Dragonkind. Look at the top 7 cards of your library. You may reveal a dragon card from among them and put them into your hand. Put the rest in the bottom of your library in a random order. Add 2 mana in any combination of colors. It is better. It is better. Alright, I think this is... The Orb of Dragonkind is better than the Mystic. What a weird card. Orb of Dragonkind. What a weird card. Where'd it go? Went over here. Jessica's Will? Okay, do we have any good sideboard cards here? What's Jessica's will? Oh god, it's insanely expensive. What the hell is this? Choose one. If you control a commander as you cast the spell, you may choose both. Add red for each card in target opponent's hand. Wow, is Commander that popular online right now that this is insanely expensive? This is 40 bucks. Or is this like a really good card in Legacy somehow? Are we consider not yet. Mystical Dispute? Actually, do you know, I like Mystical Dispute. That's easier to cast. We'll play 4 of them. We'll play 4 Relic, because I really don't know what else to play. What else? We have a few slots left in the sideboard. We got Graveyard under control. We've got some control and combo under control. Yeah, let's play a Braid. No, actually, we can play better than a Braid, right? We can play, oh no, a Braid is good. Sure. I don't know if this is Legacy power level, but whatever. Maybe adding Goreclaw to the main deck would be nice. Maybe it would, but we are running out. We have no room. We need Oko Thief of Crowns in the sideboard. It's not legal. It's super banned. Have you seen what's legal for Oko? Like almost nothing. There's like nowhere else for Oko to go. It's just basically Commander and Vintage. You can still make Black Lotuses into 3/3 Elks. It's basically all that Oko has left. Flusterstorm. Maybe we should, yeah, maybe we should have some Flusterstorms over Mystical Dispute. I can get behind that. Okay, this is not bad. This is not... Oh, we have 3 cards left. We can actually put 2 more cards in the main deck. If I were to put some cards in the main deck, I might play Temur Ascendancy. Or maybe we play more Orb of Dragonkind. More ramp. So you play this turn 2. Okay, we have like this supremely chunky deck, so actually we're gonna go 4 Orb of Dragonkind. I'm surprised we had slots left over somehow. Oh yeah, Red Elemental Blast. Like what are we smoking? This is like we can play anything we want. Okay, let's put Blue and Red Elemental Blast in here. We'll even get rid of a Braid. No, we should have something for artifacts. Get rid of one of Sarkhan. Now we'll just get Red Elemental Blast. It's good enough. Deal with Delver if we ever face Delver. If this deck list is just kitchen table casual, then Oko's legality is irrelevant. Well, we gotta play it we gotta play this actual deck list somewhere, and we'll play it in the tournament practice area. But I don't want to play Oko there. Oko got banned almost immediately. Well, it felt like an eternity, to be honest. It got banned almost immediately in Standard. I'd rather cut my hands off than play Oko. Careful what you say on the internet. Some sort of help group might DM you. We heard you're having problems. If you're ever considering self-harm, call this number. I think Blue Elemental Blast is worth it, but Red Elemental Blast might be more important to beat Murktides. And we have like... Well, I don't know. If we face, like, Dragon Rage Chandler, I think Lightning Bolts is good enough. Okay, that is going to be our Dragon deck list. Hopefully that will do good. We have one more paywall deck list review. I guess the word got out early that this was going to be the last day, so people just splurged on paywall deck list review. Is this the same type of deck? What is going on here? Is this the same deck? Oh, did I open the same deck twice by accident? Okay, hold on. Hold the fort! There's a separate unique deck list that I hope I downloaded. Okay, I gotta get this thing. Give me a second. Give me a second. Give me 3 seconds. Give me 4 seconds. Give me 10 seconds. Something from Gwydion Barton. Okay, hold on. I think I just didn't download the deck list. I got the message. Ah, yes! Okay, why did it show me that stupid thing? Hold on. Is this it? Oh, this is not it. Okay, we have a mono green Bogles deck coming out. I just need to download this. Options. Oh, I think I know what the problem was. Okay, now there we go. Okay, I'm good to go now. I figured it out. I figured out Cardboard Coffee Crew. I figured it out. Okay, so oh, this is your deck. Can't even fly. We're gonna make you fly now with your Birds of Paradise. Okay, so this is interesting. This is a mono green Bogles deck, and it makes me wonder why no one ever tried to attempt this before. Because like basically everything can be green, like Silhana or Ledgewalker, which is effectively like well, it can't be it has hexproof, but it also can't be blocked except by creatures with flying, so it's an unblockable creature. You have your Slippery Bogle, you have your Glade Cover Scout, so I mean these are all green creatures. So we have Birds of Paradise, Noble Hierarch, Gem Raiser. Love Gem Raiser. This is a great card. Suit up your creature, give it trample if it's not unblockable yet, and also helps destroy artifacts and enchantments from the opponent's side. This is a very, very, very good card. Not entirely sold on Birds of Paradise, and maybe Noble Hierarch is good enough, but I'm not entirely sold on Birds of Paradise yet. Stinger Shot. Put 3/1/1 counters on target creature with flying. Cycling 2. This card is terrible. This card is terrible. I don't see the point of it. It's basically removal, I guess, for just the blue-red Murktide deck? I will think about it. But alternatively, this probably should just be Dismember if you really wanted to. Hold on, I gotta get rid of this deck list review thing. It should probably just be Dismember if you wanted to kill things, and Dismember can kill more things than just creatures with flying. I know you can cycle it, but Bogles never has the mana to do that. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature with flying. Wow, you really hate that Dragon Rage Chandler. You absolutely hate that Dragon Rage Chandler. Favor of the Overbeing. Enchant creature, it gets +1/+1 and has Vigilance. If it's green. As long as it's blue, it gets +1/+1 and has flying. Too bad you don't have... Well, you do have a blue creature with Slippery Bogle, so it can take the air. I like this card. It gives you a little bit more... It does buff up your creature, and it gives you a little bit more room for... Well, it's okay. I do think we should... I think Rancor is better than this card, but I'm willing to see how this one works out. Howl of the Hunt. Flash, enchant creature. It enters the battlefield if enchanted creature is a wolf or werewolf. Untap that creature. We don't have that. Enchanted creature has +2/+2 and has vigilance. Not in love with this card. I think better would be Rancor. I don't mind the flash, but like probably they're gonna gang block the card anyway. Shield of the Oversoul. Enchant creature. As long as enchanted creature is green, it gets +1/+1 and is indestructible. That is insane. That is really good. As long as enchanted creature is white, it gets +1/+1 and has flying. I would be willing to have this in the deck. I think this is... I know things have hexproof, but at the same time, you know, there's still Supreme Verdict and stuff in the format. I would be willing to keep this thing in the deck. Snake Umbra is perfect. Well, actually, Snake Umbra probably takes that slot, right? Because Snake Umbra is just does this job. Oh no, maybe I'm thinking of the other Umbra. Think of the Umbra with Reach. Enchant creature. It gets +1/+1 and has whenever a creature deals damage to an opponent, you may draw a card. Can you just play Curiosity? I don't think it needs to... Not Curiosity, what's the green for 1 mana? This is too clunky. I think it's just too clunky. We should be... this Bogle deck should be way more mana efficient. Oh, definitely should have one... Do we have... Yeah, we have enough fetch lands for a Dryad Arbor in here. That's fine. Blast Zone? You're gonna blow your own stuff up. Why doesn't anyone use Galta? It seems to be the best creature for green because it's very expensive and it's hard. In Modern, it's super hard to get. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna put 4 Rancor in here. What's the 1-drop? Yeah, I want Keen Sense. The #1 reason you're gonna lose is because you're not mana efficient. Like, even with a bunch of 1-drops in the deck as it is, Bogles loses because it's too clunky. So just, you know, trying to depend on a bunch of 2 mana and 3 mana cards is just going to be death. It's going to be completely your death. I love the Gem Razor though. That'll let you keep so many more hands. This Gem Razor is such a good idea. What else? So we don't actually have that many spells in here. We should up. Okay, what else should we have for auras? Suddenly we don't have... Okay, we have Gem Razor. That can count as an aura. 20 lands. What the hell is this? Flash. Enchanted creature has +5/+5 and has trample. Absolutely not. We're never casting that. 22 creatures is way too many. It only looks that many because of the Noble Hierarch. We can get rid of Birds of Paradise, I guess. And that will be okay-ish. Look up Arkham Wings to swap Epic Proportions into a creature. But is it mono green? Am I wearing shorts? Not today. I'm actually wearing pants. There's a lot of days I wear shorts, but today is not the day. Epic... So hold on, what did you say? Arcanum Wames? I could... Arcanum... I swear that's a blue card, though. Yeah, do you see the blue mana in this deck? There's not a lot of it. How much blue mana do we have in this deck? 7 Forest, Sheep Oasis, Misty Rainforest. There's nothing. I don't think we need Rogue's Passage. I think the colorless mana is going to be your doom. I am for having utility lands in this deck, though. But Blast Zone is probably not going to be it either. Will a Shadow Sphere not fit in? Shadow Sphere might be okay. Shaper Sanctuary? In a Bogles deck? In a Bogles deck. Thank you very much for the suggestion, though. This deck specifically, I mean, outside of Noble Hierarch, this deck specifically, the creatures can't be targeted. Urza Saga sounds sexy, but we lose the land eventually. For Utopia Sprawl, you know, let's try Noble Hierarch. The Exalted might be relevant. How many cards do we have left? We have a lot. We have so many. We can put 10 cards. Okay, what auras do we have available? I don't know. Are we just gonna look up auras? Are we gonna put in that like garbage totem armor one that gives reach? All right, we're going on an adventure. We're going on an adventure in the advanced toolbox thing. Type line. It is a aura. And it needs to be green. And it needs to be bad. Formats. Legal and modern, please. Search. Oh no, wait a minute. No, stop! Mana value less than 4. Because then it's going to give us all sorts of stupid jank. I could be sold on a 3 mana aura if it's really good. Abundant Growth doesn't count. Flash, Enchanted Creature. How many? We have 81 cards to look at? Oh, God. Okay, I'm going to refine it even more. less than 3. Yeah, we might have to put Spider Umbra in here. Ether Web. +1/+1 can block as though it had flying. It can block creatures with shadow as though they didn't have shadow. Oh. That'll be like a big get 'em card when we hit the, what's it called? I can't remember what that card is called. Needs more mutate. Could be fine. Alpha Authority. Has hexproof. We already have hexproof. +2/+2 and reach and is every creature type. Useless. Auras suck. Enchanted creature has forest walk. Fertile ground. Needs to enchant creatures. Okay, maybe we should put that in the text line. Text creature. Enchant creature, please. Get rid of all those Utopia Sprawl cards. Canopy cover. Can't be blocked except by creatures with flying. Enchant creature can't be the target spells or abilities. Nope. Dryad's Favor. Enchant creature has Forest Walk. Forced Adaptation. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a counter on enchanted creature. No. When Fist of Ironwood enters the battlefield, create 2 1/1 green sapling creature tokens. Oh, that's interesting. That is interesting. We have the Genju of the Cedars, Enchant Forest. Enchant Forest becomes a 4/4 creature. Oh no, we want to enchant our own stuff. Enchant creature has flying. Keen Sense is great, we got it. Enters the battlefield, draw a card. Add 1 mana. Enchant creature has add 1 mana of any color. Nope, 2 mana, don't want it. Kenrith's Transformation. ETB, draw a card, which is good. Enchant creature loses all abilities and is a green elk. Nope, we don't want that. Lignify? What is this? Ligna? This is like the actual form of Ligna in this game. Okay, so enchant creature loses all abilities. No. Although you know what? It's interesting to give these things to our opponents. That would be interesting. Use snake form if we get across that. I'll see what it is all about. Okay, Mantle of Webs. +1/+3 in reach. Enchant creature has whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, add that much green to your mana pool. This mana doesn't mana burn you or whatever. Not very great. Ordeal of Nylea. Attacks, put a counter on it. Then if it has 3 or more counters on it, sacrifice it. Search your library for up to 2 basic land cards. Damn, that could have been good. Primal Cocoon. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a counter on enchanted creature. That seems pretty poor. Regeneration, no. 6th Sense. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card. Is this better than Keen Sense? Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player. What's the difference between this and Keen Sense? Enchanted creature deals damage to an opponent. You may draw a card. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, so including yourself. Interesting. Strictly better. This is just better, right? I didn't even realize they printed another Keen Sense. Maybe we'll have more Keen Senses in this deck. Okay, hold on. Let's put 6th Sense. We'll put that on the to-do list. Keen Sense is any type of damage? Well, we're only attacking with creatures anyway. 6th Sense is creature deals oh, I see. It's combat damage versus any damage. Got it. Yeah, pinging yourself to draw the value. If only. Spider Umbra. This is traditionally a good one. Although it's a bit weak. We don't have like big heavy hitters in this deck. We might need to play something lame like Branchwood Armor or something. Oh, did I take out a bunch of lands? I think I took out a bunch of lands. We actually have to replace the lands. Okay, we need to add 2 lands later. Tree Savvy. Return Talon Wiz from your graveyard to your hand. Enchanted creature has +1/+1 as trample. It's not terrible. Treetop Bracers, +1/+1, and can't be blocked. Can't stack or block. Web. Wreath of Geists. Gets +X/+X, where X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard. What other mutate creatures are there in green? Or is the Grazer like the best of the best? I don't mind Gem Razor. Gem Razor is amazing. Tower above. Until end of turn, target creature gets +4/+4, it gains trample, wither, and whenever this creature attacks, target creature blocks it this turn if able. No, we want something repeated, a repeatable amount of damage. Although that was a great suggestion because this never would have showed up in our search. What are the okay ones? Tell me can't even fly. That's actually a really fitting name for a Bogle deck. For someone who wields the Bogle deck. What's tower? Oh yeah, we just looked up tower above. Why is the deck mono green instead of Selesnya? I know, it would make things so much easier. Just throw in. You could throw in Ethereal Armor and Daybreak Coronet. We would call it a day. Do these deck want equipment? I'm not opposed to something like, what's it called? What's this stupid thing called? Shadow Spear. Like, I'm totally fine with Shadow Spear, to be honest. Permanents your opponent's controls lose hexproof. This is the main problem of this deck. The Shadow Spear is a super popular card. We end up playing the very thing that we are meant to fear. We were supposed to destroy the Shadow Spear decks, not join them. Light Pause, Emperor's Voice. No, but we're not in Selesnya. Yeah, it's a great card actually, but we're not in Selesnya. Eldrazi Conscription, a little too expensive. A little too expensive at 8 mana. Okay, what do we got here? We got Migratory Greathorn. 3/4. Whenever this creature mutates, search your library for a basic land card, put onto the battlefield tap. That's not bad. That is not bad at all. What else do we have? Spacious Sterix. Okay, this is too expensive. It's 5 mana. The mutate's even more expensive. Whenever this creature mutates, exile cards on the top of your library until you exile X permanent cards, where X is the number of times this creature has mutated. I hate it. Glowstone Recluse. Mutate as well. 2/3 reach. Whenever this creature mutates, put 2+1/+1 counters on it. I like it actually. I like it. I don't mind it at all. Okay, what room do we have here? Okay, so Glowstone and Migratory Greathorn are possible. I actually like the Greathorn a little bit more because you get mana and it's 3/4 creature. Oh, did we completely forget the sponsors today? That's okay. You guys are the sponsors today. Fusion Gaming Online, you know the deal. You use coupon code Nikachu for 5% off all your purchases. And it supports the channel. And there's Mana Traders, the premier place for renting Magic cards online. And you better believe, I'm going to be using this service to rent out each and every one of these decks when I playtest them. And you can rent and support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below. And don't forget to use coupon code Nikachu_9Y6 for 10% off your first 2 months. Okay, so, okay, let's get back to the deck list. Maybe just run the last troll. Okay, how much space do we have? 15 cards. We need to add 2 more lands. I really don't believe in this blast zone, especially how green your deck is. Look at all the green. This deck is very green. It has a little bit of colorless, so... Someone can suggest, like... I don't mind Hasip Oasis. I think it's a cool card to have in this deck. Oh, someone's mentioned we should have 1 Dryad Arbor. I don't mind that at all. Dryad Arbor. It's a good idea. Nettle Cyst. Oh, hold on. Does Nettle Cyst count enchantments? That is an amazing suggestion. Whoa! Whoa! Equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each artifact or enchantment you control. Sold! And it's equipped too. Actually, I really like this. This is great. Okay, I like this one a lot. We'll have 4 Nettle Cyst in this deck. This actually might hold the whole thing together. Okay, so we've got our mana base. Okay, let's put 4 Nettle Cyst. It's really good. That is a really bomb suggestion. So it's good on power, and it's also just like a random creature on its own. What about Paradise Druid, Hexproof, and Ramp in the same card? It's Ramp on turn 2, when turn 2 is when we should be playing either suiting up our Bogles or playing our threats. How much room do we have left? 2 more cards? Okay, let's put... I don't know which one's more important, so I'll put 1 more Spider Umbra, 1 more Sixth Sense, and hopefully that's enough. I'm a little concerned about the power in this deck. But maybe Nettle Cyst can help with that by a lot. Maybe. It might be clunky. It might be clunky. I don't know. You know what? I think we'll dump this thing for more Spider Umbra. Because it's basically +1/+1 and effectively makes the creature indestructible. So this is much more mana efficient of a deck. Very mana efficient. I like it. I like it. Okay, sideboard. What the hell is this? Why is every sideboard today absolute nonsense? Okay, finally at least 1 good card. But that doesn't even deal with Living End, which is like the best deck right now. Stinging Shot. Okay, let's get rid of all this stuff. Prismatic Ending. Okay, that's... Oh, you bring in... You're bringing in white mana to play white spells. Why aren't we just... If you can... Put in, like, Temple Gardens, and let's play, like, just Selesnya Bogles. Why did we try so hard? It's like, we tried so hard, chat, to be mono green. And then when we get to the sideboard, it's Selesnya. Discussion about sideboarding for another live stream. I'll tell you this much: I will make a sideboard, but I think it's just gonna be a mono green sideboard. Don't worry, we have to look. This is the last deck list review. Force of Vigor. I'm sure Nikachu's build a sideboard workshop. Yeah, we're going to. We either have white in the main deck, or we're not having white at all. Okay, this is where Stinging Shot actually makes some sense. But hold on, isn't there a better one? What's the destroy target flying creature? There's a way better card than this for 1 green. There's a way better card than this. What is it? It's like destroying... It's a Plummet? Is it Plummet? Yeah, destroy target creature with flying. This is just way better. We can put... If you hate... Oops. If you absolutely hate those flying creatures, we'll put Plummet in here. This is a last fan-made decklist review. Maybe we can get fan-made sideboard review. Right, review your sideboards. Hey, it's not the end of decklist review. It's just end of decklist review on Coffee and MTG. We'll probably do some of these during like gameplay streams. Because it is the worst viewed all the content on Coffee and MTG, and there's a very good chance I can make this channel blow up. But I have to cut some of the fat. Doesn't plummet cost 2, and it doesn't have cycling? That is true. But it destroys any creature, including Murktides, which is very important. You want to kill those Murktides. Okay, so we have plummet. What else? What else do we have for the sideboard? Grafdigger's Cage, we can have like maybe 2. I'm not even a fan of Grafdigger's Cage because it cannot deal with Living End at all. Don't mention that Gemrazor has reach. Let people forget about it so you can get him. Oh yeah, we're gonna get him. Gemrazor is an amazing card. It's a very, very good card. Love it in this deck. Yeah, it destroys everything for 2 mana. And it's instant. It's crazy. Maybe Relicas. You know what I think might be better? Soul Guide Lantern. Because this is a deck that is going to tap out a lot. Oops, put it in the main. Actually, this is the real answer. I don't know if this is within your budget. I'm going to guess it is not. Oh, except the Boseiju is somewhat of a price. This is a pretty budget deck, so I'm assuming they can't afford that. I'm just gonna assume like Endurance would be the best card for sure, but I don't think they can afford Force of Vigor or Endurance. Hence why the deck is what it is. Veil of Summer is worth it, is it? To protect versus counter spells, because they can't target the creatures. Well, they can target maybe the Gemrazor or the Arbor Elf. Is it really worth it? I don't think it's worth it. Damping Sphere. Sure. What else? Oh, the Hearse is an interesting one. Oh, the Hearse is money now. It's really expensive. Which is crazy. It was worth nothing. It was worth like 2 ticks. We need Ancestral Mask for Moderns. Yeah, I know. It would have been the perfect card for this deck. Hardened Scales? I don't think it's necessary. Void Mirror? Sure, actually. Ugh, I keep putting things in the main deck. Guys, Blessing for Mill. I think we'll live with Mill. Mill is not a huge portion of the metagame. Okay, we've got Murktide solved. We have quite a bit of Living End and Cascade decks solved. I don't want Torpor Orb, because Torpor Orb can actually help decks, not hurt them. I don't even know what we would use Torpor Orb for. Worship. We're mono green. This is a mono green deck now. Sea Dasher Octopus for draw. Wow, I thought that card was going to be so much better than it ended up being. You fixed the deck? That's good. Well, I have a copy of the deck itself. We have Noble in the deck. Plague Engineer to deal with Merfolk. Okay, come on. We need 3 more mono green or artifact cards in the sideboard here. How about some artifact destruction? What is good artifact destruction in green? The deck is not budget, apparently, according to the owner. Noble is for Exalted. Hold on. It's not budget? All right. In with the Endurance. How is it? Okay, so I don't understand why the deck is built the way it is. 4 Endurance or over the full Soul Guide Lantern. We might even suit up this Endurance. Well, now that I know it's not budget, we could have Endurance in the main deck. Pithing Needle? Against what? Okay, yes, then we have Force of Vigor. We'll take out... I don't know, 2 Plummets, 2... Tron's a problem. Tron's actually a huge problem. Although Damping Sphere doesn't do a whole lot. We'll get rid of the Void Mirror. Did it again. I hate it when I do that. I'm always adding the cards to the main. still have 3 more cards. Actually, we can still have Void Mirror in this deck. Okay, 3 Plummet. Boom! We got it! I'm not going back and turning this into a Selesnya deck. We're just going to do the best we can at mono green. Beast Within against Tron could be good. Yeah, it could be good. Or we just play Damping Sphere and hopefully we can win by then. My greatest concern with this deck is the clock. Because, like, a lot of the cards were very clunky and not doing a lot of damage. Now we added a bunch of cards that don't deal damage at all, but at least draw us cards. Rancor hopefully helps us. Spider Umbra... I'm hoping Nettle Cyst pushes us over the top. This will be the card that will help us. And we made our mana base a lot more green. Anyway, I like the look of the deck list. Great. Thank you so much for submitting it. Alright, more deck lists. We just went through 3 paywall deck list reviews. 3! We have to do some more freebies. Wouldn't be in the spirit of deck list review if we didn't do some more freebies. Banshee! You are the next contestant on Decklist Review. By the way, I'm not going to be probably making dedicated videos on the gameplay. I'll probably put them in a playlist, or at least have them in a pinned comment in the description, so that you can see the replay of the those games. Because I'm not going to post these games anymore individually. Well, there's just not going to be any dedicated day for Decklist Review. Heck yeah, that's me! Albert, you're one of the last people on Decklist Review. Alright, so we have Giver of Runes, Stoneforge, what is it, Strangler, and Taxes? They used to be, this was a real thing back in the day. The only reason I think it doesn't exist right now is this -3/-3 doesn't kill a whole lot of things. Okay, we have Giver of Runes, Stoneforge, Mystic, Thalia, Archon of Emeria, Elite Spellbinder, 4 Skyclave Apparition, 3 Wasteland Strangler, 4 Solitude, Ether Vial, Sword of Fire and Ice, Batterskull, Cauldron Complete. You have Iganjo, 4 Ghost Quarter, 3 Godless Shrine, 4 Marsh Flats, 3 Plains, Silent Clearing, and Urza Saga. Okay, so here's my take on this. You probably shouldn't have this in your deck, because it's like, you're not that heavy in black. You're literally only playing this, you're only playing black for Wasteland Strangler, and that's it. Now, if you want to do it, fine. Your deck actually is well built. I think your numbers are good, and you've got all the right ideas there. You're heavy on lands, which you should for an Urza Saga deck. You got the right stuff in the sideboard. You really shouldn't have this in your deck, but whatever. You want to make it work? It's not. It is costing you life, though. Like, the Marsh Flats and Godless Shrines are not free. And if it was so good, you should probably have 4 of them, but I'm not going to tell you which card to take out. But you have enough synergy here for that. Like Solitude, Skyclave Apparition, Elite Spellbinder. It all works out. What would you do instead? Replace Wasteland Strangler with another white card. That's what I would do. And then have a cleaner mana base with just more plains than anything else. And that it would be a less painful mana base as well. You'd also replace maybe some lands with, what's it called? Oh, you're not playing the cat, so it's not that important. Well, I just wouldn't play black at all. Like, you're dealing actually quite a bit of damage to yourself only for this one card. Yeah, Esper Sentinel is not a bad one either. But I will say, it works. It works. I really don't think it's worth splashing black for 3 cards in a deck. It, like, almost never works out unless that card just outright wins the game on the spot. But Wasteland Strangler is not really one of those cards. It's just like a nice value card. Ephemerate's really good here. Actually, that's true. You could have Ephemerate in this deck, even with Thalia, Garden of Thraben. You could have Ephemerate. It wouldn't be too bad at all. Those are all options. But the deck works. I'm not going to say the deck doesn't work. I just don't think it's worth having one black card and warping your mana base a little bit for it. I messaged you on Discord. I sent you a revision of the deck. No, but I did the deck. I got the deck. I'm not looking at your deck twice. I mean, maybe if you really want me to play that version of the deck, play this deck instead. Satanic Cleric Tribal. Okay, well, okay, I will look at that. But I'll look at that afterwards. There's not we need to be considerate of everyone else who wants to be on Decklist review. Okay, I will get another. That was a nice, fast, easy one. Eric. What do you got for us, Eric? Creativity Reanimator. It's not the first, second, third, or fourth time we've seen people play this type of deck. Archon of Cruelty. Hard Evidence. 4 Persist. 4 Unmarked Grave. 4 Indomitable Creativity. 4 Spell Pierce. Sure. 4 Tainted Indulgence. 4 Prismari Command. 4 Fable of the Mirror Breaker. 4 Blood Crypt, 4 Bloodstained Mire, 4 Dwarven Mine, 3 Mountain, 4 Scalding Tarn, 4 Steam Vents, 1 Xander Lounge, 2 Alpine Moon. In the sideboard, we have 2 Alpine Moon, 4 Flusterstorm, 2 Shattering Spree, 4 Thoughtseize, 2 Anger the Gods, and a Sundering Titan. This Spell Pierce feels out of place, but I don't remember what they play instead of it. What else do they play in this deck? You have Hard Evidence and the Dwarven Mines for Indomitable Creativity. You have Unmarked Grave and Persist to get this thing back, and Prismari Command to put in the graveyard, and Tainted Indulgence to put in the graveyard. A lot of ways of getting stuff in the graveyard. Fable Mirror, maybe Spell Pierce is okay. Is this the card that they play? The deck looks good, actually. The deck looks good. Looks like a stock list to me. I agree. It feels very stock looking. Flusterstorm's in the sideboard, or do they play that in the main deck now? Yeah, it's in the sideboard. So we have a Flusterstorm here. Stock list? All right, good. Well, it's a good list. It's a good deck. I approve. You may play this list. You don't have to change anything. All right, we're going to make this the last one, and then we're going to do some news. You guys lucky on the stream are going to see the news. People who watch Decklist review, the replay, they'll be like, they will not see the news. They'll probably not last long enough to see the news. If somehow you are here at the 2-hour mark, you give the thumbs up. You let me know in the comment section that you made it this far. You are one of the true cardboard coffee crews. Or coffee cardboard crew. What is this? Alright, this is a nice one to finish it all off. This is a cool, unique one. We've got Owling Mine. That is a name I have not heard in a long time. A long time. Okay, so we got the Irene Craig Pyromancer. Jace Bellerin. Hold on, what does this do? Let's slow down here. Maybe I gotta read some of these cards. This is from Eldraine. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, Irene Craig Pyromancer deals 3 damage to any target. Jace Bellerin. Each player draws a card. Target player +2. Each player draws a card -1. Yeah, I know this card. Unsummon. Void Snare. Boomerang. Eye of Nowhere. Turn target permanent to its owner's hand. Yeah, I think those are better than like Unsummon. Remand. Vision Skeins. Each player draws 2 cards. Cerebral Vortex. Target player draws 2 cards, then Cerebral Vortex deals damage to that player equal to the number of cards they've drawn this turn. I don't know if that one's going to work out the way you want it to. Exhaustion. Creatures and lands target opponent controls do not untap during their next untap step. I think you actually want more of those cards. Whelming Wave. Return all creatures to their owner's hands except for the Krakens, Leviathans, Octopuses, and Serpents. And Rune Flare Trap. If an opponent drew 3 or more cards this turn, you can just pay a single red. And deals damage to target player equal to the number of cards in that player's hand. Now, that is a good card. That's way better than this Cerebral Vortex thing. Because this counts all cards in their hand. But this one only counts the cards that have been drawn this turn. which is way, way worse. Yeah, Vapor Snag is better than Unsummon. I don't even know if you want those cards. I'm fine with the Boomerang because you're bouncing their land. That is very useful. So we have Ebony Owl Netsuke. At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, if that player has 7 or more cards in hand, it deals 4 damage to him or her. Okay, this is okay. And Owling... This is like the reverse... this is the inverted 8-rack. It's inverted 8-rack. Isn't Fading Hope? Fading Hope is also strictly better than Unsummon. But in this deck, also, Vapor Snag is strictly better. And I think we want to play Vapors. Actually, maybe not. Maybe we want to play Fading Hope. Maybe scrying is more important than dealing the opponent losing life. Yeah, this is Reverse Rack. We could just call it Reverse Rack. Then you have Howling Mine. This is missing a very important card, though, isn't it? Fevered Dreams. At the beginning of each player's end step, that player draws a card. If the player is your opponent and has 4 more cards in hand, deals 2 damage to him or her. Okay, that's fine. There is a 3-mana enchantment where you can draw cards. Like, it has Flash, and each player draws a card at the beginning of their upkeep. Or they draw an additional card for the turn. What is that card called? It's from one of the Theros block sets. And I think it would just be perfect for this deck. Dictative Crew Fix. Blue, 1 generic flash. At the beginning of each player's draw step, that player draws an additional card. So what's the good thing about this is you can play it on your opponent's turn, so you're the first one to draw a card to have card advantage, and then that will also help your opponent draw cards. I think this is good in this deck. Well, maybe Fevered Visions is just better. At the beginning of each player's end step, that player draws a card. If the player is your opponent and has 4 more cards in hand, it deals... Okay, I'm sorry. Do you know what? I think Fevered Visions is just better. I think probably this card is good in a deck like this if it was mono blue, but it's not. It's Fevered... the Fevered Visions is better. Because it only deals damage to the opponent. It's essentially the same thing. That's Fading Hope instead of Boomerang. Boomerang is very good in these types of decks because you want to turn 2, bounce your opponent's land, and that will set them way behind. If you're on the play, this sets them way behind, and yeah, it'll just clog up their hand full of cards. Is there an argument to be made for Improbable Alliance? Whenever you draw your second card each turn, create a 1/1 blue fairy creature token with flying. Whenever you draw your second card, draw a card, then discard. I don't think it's that good. It's possible. It's possible. I don't know how this deck plays out. I will tell you this: if you had problems with creatures, this would probably be very good. Just as a blocker, just constantly create blockers. Whenever you draw your second card, you only make 1 blue fairy token per turn, which is the awkward part. I like this list, but I play Force Breeding Seas against Saga. Probably you can just Boomerang the Saga. Or Boomerang... You Boomerang the other land. So if they go turn 1 land, turn 2 Saga, you Boomerang their other land and they're screwed. Then the next turn they'll play their land. They will get nothing. They will tutor for something, but they won't get any construct tokens. Eye of Nowhere. Return target permanent to its owner's hand. I actually think this is better than Void Snare. I would play another Eye of Nowhere over Void Snare. Each player draws 2 cards. This might be good. Okay, what do you guys have suggestions? Dragon Fairy? What do you mean, Fairy Dragon? I don't think that's how this deck is trying to win. Well, then maybe that is a good win condition in this deck. Why bounce their Saga? Yeah, you can destroy the Saga with Seas and draw a card. Oh, well, don't they have that in here? Or maybe they don't. They have Blood Moon. Well, here's the deal. Not everyone is playing with Urza Saga. Lightning Bolt over Unsummon? There's some things you can't bolt in this metagame. Flump? Is this a real card? You people keep mentioning Flump. Defender Flying. Whenever it's dealt damage, you and target opponent each draw a card. You can't play this card. It's a white card. Oh, that's an interesting suggestion. Earthquake. I don't think we need a lot of burn. I think we just need Rune Flare Trap. Okay, so I'll just say cards that I like. This card, not in love with this. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, it deals 3 damage to any target. Not in love with this card at all. I might be wrong. I don't know how this card plays out, but I'm not in love with it. Not in love with it. This unsummoned should be Vapor Snag, so it deals damage to your opponents. Or you could choose the one that scries. That's totally fine too. So add another, like, get rid of the Void Snare, add another one of these here, and then the last one should be, the other Void Snare should be replaced with Eye of Nowhere. Remand is fine. Vision Skins are fine. Cerebral Vortex, I don't like it. Add another Rune Flare Trap, and I don't think it'd be too hard to make happen. You could even put another Exhaustion instead of the Cerebral Vortex. Yeah, Fading Hope was the other one. Whelming Wave, probably unnecessary, but whatever. It probably could be another Jace Beleren. Ebony Owl is okay. Howling Mine is great, and your Fevered Visions. Maybe you should have 4 of these. Just like how this is like 8 rack or something. No, the deck is not playing Counterspell. We're playing Remand. Which is not terrible right now. Like, you know, someone goes Cascade into Living End or Crashing Footfalls, Remand it back to their hand. Screw them over. I think the whole point of this deck is they just want to win with more or less Fevered Visions and Rune Flare Traps. And I would tend to agree. If you want, you could go the Shredder route, but I don't know how good or bad that would be. And the Fairy Dragons. Sideboard, Relic, Dragon's Claw, Hercule's Recall, Anger of the Gods, Blood Moon, Mystical Dispute, 1 Ulamog. Probably, this deck actually could, it was mentioned earlier, this deck could use, actually this deck probably could use Ensnaring Bridge. It wouldn't be bad, it wouldn't be terrible. I don't know how necessary it would be. It depends how this deck plays out. It's possible that they just never have anything to attack with. Or Exhaustion basically does the job. Oh no, Ensnaring Bridge is terrible. You're never empty-handed. Like this, the way these decks play out, like each side has tons of cards in hand, like 6, 7 cards all the time. So Ensnaring Bridge is just unplayable. Subtlety would be a good card somewhere here, either in the main deck or the sideboard, because you could play it for free. You're getting cards back in your hand very easily. It would be a very good card for this deck. All right. Okay, this show is not over. Okay, you want to look up some news? Okay, did the Merfolk get revealed? People are talking this and that. What? Okay, let's go to mythicspoiler.com. Let's look at some spoilers. Let's look at what's been spoiled. A lot of things have been spoiled. It has been actually this crate. What's the best? Why is this zoomed in so far? Oh, I guess this works out. Okay, we've got Sphinx of Clear Skies. They like dumped an insane amount of news. Some of them. We have some merfolk. Show me the merfolk. Show me the merfolk. We have a merfolk. Oh god. Oh, so yeah, and I heard we are going back to Ixalan. So we're going back to Ixalan. This is what it looks like. Maybe we're gonna get a good 1-drop green creature or something. Maybe one day. Possibly. What do you guys think? Does that look like a 1-drop to you? Looks like a 1-drop to me. It could be amazing. Or maybe it's just another Tide Shaper. Maybe they're printing Tide Shaper. This could be Tide Shaper too. This merfolk flies. It's flying. It's got water wings. It's got water wings. Okay, what else do we got here? We have something called Volsh Tide Turner. Blue, 1 blue, 1 generic, 1/3, add 1 blue, tap to add 1 blue, spend this mana only to cast an instant or sorcery spell or a kicked spell. At first I thought it was gonna be like you can cast merfolk spells with this. No, this is a lame card. What else do we got? We've got Voda. I can't. Voda Sea Scavenger, which is a blue 2 generic 3/2 creature, Merfolk Rogue, domain. When it enters the battlefield, look at the top X cards of your library, where X is the number of basic land types among the lands you control. You may put one of those cards on top of your library, put the rest on the bottom in a random order. Draft card. Draft card. Okay, so we've got something. How do I zoom in on this? Okay, this looks cool. That art looks amazing. So this let me zoom in on that art. I'm not done here. Oh, that is a sick art. That is very sick. Is this literally Lord of Atlantis? Blue, 2/2 creature. Vidalian Desecrator. Oh, this is the Phyrexian one. Oh my god, that art is sick. Do something awesome. It's got... How does this mean all of this? Or are these two different creatures? Okay, so... Oh no, it's not the same creature. Wait, is this Lord of Atlantis or what? It looks like Lord of Atlantis. Or a Lord of an Atlantis. The top one is a Lord of Atlantis as a promo. Okay. Great promo. This might be the best art of Lord of Atlantis I've ever seen. This is a really cool art. This is a very, very sick art. Okay, so then now here's our Phyrexian Merfolk Wizard. Is this a leak? This doesn't look official, Lord Magicus. That's okay, we're good with leaks on this channel. Vohar Vidalian Desecrator, blue-black legendary creature, Phyrexian Merfolk Wizard. So maybe finally a reason to go black. It's a... What's the power and toughness? Is it 1/2? Why did they put this stupid blotch here? The fools. Okay, tap, draw a card, then discard a card. If you discarded an instant or sorcery card this way, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Pay to sacrifice this creature. You may cast target instant or sorcery spell card from your graveyard this turn. If that spell would be put into your graveyard, exile it instead. Activate only as a sorcery. This card will probably be good for somebody's deck. It's not going to be good for our deck, I think. If it's 1/2, it's unplayable. If it's a 2/2, I'm going to think about it, but probably don't have to think very hard. Once you go black, you can't go back. There are some good black Merfolk. Like, I really like that Death Touch one that gains life when you mill some cards, but, like, there's just not enough reason to go black with Merfolk. Yeah. I've seen enough of that. Alright, what else do we have? Do we have anything else? Oh, we got some other ones. Okay, I believe this one is from the Commander cards. So, Emperor Mihail 2, blue 1, legendary Merfolk Noble, 3/3. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. You may cast Merfolk spells on the top of your library. It's, okay, whenever you cast a Merfolk spell, if you pay 1, if you do, create a blue Merfolk creature token. I like that! I like that. Because that blue, looking at the top card of your library and playing Merfolk spells, not very impressive. This still might not make the cut because it's got very strong, what's that green shapeshifter called? It's got very strong vibes. Oh, is the whole set leaked? Is that what's going on here? The Merfolk is kind of like Snapcaster Mage for standard. I guess so. That's the closest we got. Realm Walker. Yeah, it's got strong Realm Walker vibes. But this is a little bit bigger, I believe, at 3/3. So that helps. And getting a Merfolk off of whenever you cast a Merfolk spell, so that can include that Spreading Seas, that's a tribal. Okay, then we got Vidalian Mindsinger, blue 1 generic for a 2/2 Merfolk Wizard. Kicker red 1 or green 1. Enters the battlefield with 2 counters on it for each time it was kicked. When a Mindsinger enters the battlefield, gain control of target creature with power less than Vidalian Mindsinger's power for as long as you control Vidalian Mindsinger. I don't get it. Enters the battlefield with 2 counters on it for each time it was kicked. So you can just choose anything? When enters the battlefield, gain control of target creature with power less than Vidalian Mindsinger's power. I think this is mostly a, Oh, but I don't need... Do I need to kick it? Gain control of target creature with power less than Vidalian Mindsinger's power for as long as you control Vidalian Mindsinger. That is interesting. That is that is not bad. So that is... Ugh. I mean, the creature's gonna be vulnerable, but essentially we get to steal creatures with a 3-drop. But they have to be small creatures. Someone sent the whole leaked thing. These are release notes. How do I open this? Hold on, give me a second here. Okay, what is this? Release notes compiled by Just Dunks, modified July 21st, 2022. Release notes include information concerning the release, blah, 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 blah. General notes, card legality. Well, I don't want to go through everything. I just wanted the Merfolk. Control F is my friend, Merfolk. Okay, we got Tatiova, Steward of the Tides, green, and a blue. Merfolk Druid, 3/3. Land creatures you control have flying. Oh my god! Oh my god! Whenever a land enters a battlefield under your control, if you control 7 or more lands, up to 1 target land you control becomes a 3/3 elemental with haste. It's still land. Land creatures you control have flying. That is awesome! That is actually really good. That is really good. Basically, it finally gives us like really solid evasion while actually playing a creature at the same time. That is very strong. Snap would go into the deck. It's very, very good. And it actually makes Pioneer Merfolk like insanely playable. I don't know if this whole set is leaked. Is this the release notes? Vidalian Mindsinger, Merfolk Wizard. We saw that one. Saw that one. Last ability triggers. Tatiova. Oh, that's it. You sent me everything except the one Tatiova one. This is the best one! This is insane. Are we sure it's not Commander? Oh, we are not sure. I don't know where this came from. Damn it, if it's in Commander, it would be so bad. I don't have the link. You're gonna have to fetch the link yourself. Or, I don't know, KBG can let you know where to find the link. Maybe it's leaked on Reddit or something. Okay, this is all I'm gonna leak. I just want to know the Merfolk cards. Some of these, I think, are Commander, but not all. So yeah, I cannot tell. This Tatiova is very good. It would make a big deal to Merfolk, I think. And it would be worth going heavier in green. It might be hard to cast, though. Well, maybe not. But you put these slams, some Cavernous Souls in there, it's all gonna work out. It's all gonna work out. Land creatures you control have flying. That's incredible. That is really incredible. It's basically creatures you control have flying, period. You may choose to, and then I guess if you flood out, your lands become creatures as well, which is actually also nice. Okay, let's look at some of the classic spoilers the old-fashioned way. They did release Liliana the Veil. Ugh, some ad here. Won't go away. As was very strongly rumored, Liliana the Veil is coming to Standard, which also means it's going to Pioneer. It's land creatures? What does that mean? So basically, only, like, Mutavault gets flying. Oh no! Oh. Oh, it's useless. Oh, it's terrible. Tattoo is unplayable. Okay. Yeah, finally, Dryad Arbor can fly. Yeah, when I think land, you know, I didn't think of the rule interact. We generally think of creatures on the ground as land creatures, non-flying creatures. But you know, technically, they aren't lands. Damn it. Okay, so she's unplayable. The leaks are useless to us. Okay, so we have Liliana the Veil. What do we have? Jaya? And Ajani is the Phyrexian. Ajani sleeper agent. And he's quite unplayable. You reveal cards from the top of your library. If it's a creature, it goes into your hand. But the -3 is bad, and the -6 is just never happening. Get an emblem with whenever you cast a spell or planeswalker, target opponent gets 2 poison counters. That's not even good! It's not even close to good. That's okay. They're all unplayable cards anyway. I'm not playing it anyway. What does Jaya do? Create a 1/1 red monk with prowess? That's not bad. -1, exile top 2 cards of your library. Choose one of them. You may play that card this turn. It's also not too bad. -2, choose target creature an opponent controls. Whenever you attack this turn, Jaya Negotiator deals damage equal to the number of attacking creatures to that creature. And you get an emblem with whenever you cast a red instant or sorcery spell, copy it twice. You may choose new targets for the copy. And someone speculated on Magic the Gathering Online. They bought up like they bought a lot of Lilianas, and they bought up a lot of Pain lands for some reason. And a lot of Merfolk. Shiv and Devastator. Is any of this stuff interesting? Oh, we've got an X dragon with haste. Red X, flying haste, enters the battlefield with X counters on it. That should go in the dragon deck. Balder, that could go in the dragon deck. Doesn't exist yet, though. Oh yeah, here's the blue destroy all creatures spell. And apparently it has something called, this is a new mechanic that I completely missed when I first read this card. It has something called read ahead. Choose a chapter and start with that many lore counter. So you can go straight to chapter 3. Skip the beginning of the book. So you can go straight to chapter 3, destroy all creatures. For each creature destroyed this way, its controller creates a 2/2 black Phyrexian creature token. It's like Curse of the Swine all over again. If I'm missing out on anything, is there anything you guys want to look at? Oh, there's Squee. Squee is back. Squee has haste, apparently. You may cast Squee from your graveyard by paying whatever. So if it gets exiled, it's gone forever. A lot of these look like draft cards to me. Braids? At the beginning of your end step, you may sacrifice an artifact, creature, enchantment, land, or planeswalker. If you do, each opponent sacrifices a permanent that shares a card type with it. For each opponent who doesn't, that player loses 2 life and you draw a card. You should see the Tooth and Nail saga. Reprints raise prices sometimes since people need to play sets of them for Standard and Pioneer. It could happen. It could happen. Liliana, though, has like a really sticky price to it, though. And we'll see what happens. So there's sagas. Let's go. Are any lands spoiled? I like it when they spoil the lands. Ah, we do have the Pain lands. This is so that guy who bought up Pain lands, aren't they stupid? Like, isn't that dumb? Like, they're just reprinting all these things. Maybe they remember the first time. I think there was a time. No, when Eldrazi got printed, these Pain lands went up. Outside of that, like, who cares? Anyway, Adarkar Wastes, Shivan Reef, Karpluzan Forest, Yavimaya Coast and Caves of Koilos, and Sulphur Springs. And I have to say, I love the art on Adarkar Waste. I mean, it's a 10 out of 10 art for Shivan Reef. That is amazing. Karpluzan Forest, great art. Yavimaya Coast, great art. Caves of Koilos looks the same. I don't feel like it's very different. And also, Sulphur Springs has a very, I don't know, nostalgic feel to it. It looks the same as the old one. Allied Painlands are new to Pioneer, so demand is possible. Yeah, it's possible. Damn long stream. You better believe it. Well, I'm not. This is like the last decklist review, and by the way, this decklist review video will be expired in like, I don't know, 2 weeks to a month. Oh, and they came out with stained glass basic lands for anyone who likes stained glass stuff. Personally, for me, since Kamigawa, I just can't look at lands the same way again. The stained glass lands are the way to go for me. We have some full art cards. The Evolved Sleeper, 1 black. It's a human for 1/1. Evolved Sleeper becomes a human cleric with base power and toughness 2/2, so it can upgrade itself. If Evolved Sleeper is a cleric, put a death touch counter on it and becomes a Phyrexian human cleric with base power and toughness 3/3. Oh, it's like, it's basically one of those Kithkins. Shut up and take my money. If Evolved Sleeper is a Phyrexian, put a counter on it, then you draw a card and you lose 1 life. A little bit more on the draft side, in my opinion. Do we have some Planeswalkers? Oh, I heard about this one for... I heard that... Hey, there was like some big discussion about this in Commander. So Savitri Dragon Master is making... Is it this one? Oh no, I think it's something else. Okay, I'm sorry, it's something else. This Savitri Dragon Master would go well in the Dragon deck. Till your next turn, creatures can't attack you or planeswalkers you control unless the controller pays 2 life for each of those creatures. -3, search your library for a dragon card, reveal it, print your hand. -7, destroy all non-dragon cards. There is like a new card that, is it this one? Oh, it's this one, Ramses Assassin Lord. This is hilarious. Blue, black, 2 generic for a 4/4 death touch. A human assassin. Other assassins you control get +1/+1. But get this. Whenever a player loses the game, if they were attacked this turn by an assassin you controlled, you win the game. So if you attack somebody and they're like, okay, screw this game, I scoop, they basically handed you the whole victory. And in my play group, we play with the rule that you can concede at any time as like a strategic move. So, like, if you have a lifelink creature, don't attack the person that's about to die, because they'll just scoop and you're not going to gain any of the life. And so now there was like quite a pile of discussion by one of the spike feeders that spoiled this card on Twitter. And it was interesting. I learned that some people have play groups where you're only allowed to concede at sorcery speed, so that you don't create any feel-bad moments, political feel-bad moments, which I find weird. Like, why is it such a big deal that people can't concede at instant speed? I mean, that just becomes part of the game. Vraska makes assassins that instant kill people, right? I think so. But the thing is with this, all you have to do is attack someone. Let's say you attack one person, and that person just concedes, then you win the whole thing. You just win the whole game right then and there. Yeah, can totally abuse Ramses if scooping like that works. But that's how the rules in Magic work. Like, you can concede at any time. Yeah, I quit when I want. And from my perspective, you have to consider that. Like, if that person's about to die anyway, then don't attack them with an assassin. Or don't kill anybody. Or I guess from your... No, wait. From your perspective, you don't care because you have the assassin. You want to win the game. So other people at the table want to kill this thing on the spot so that nobody who's in danger of losing the game immediately will concede. Thoughts on Molten Monstrosity with Roddy Reggie and other cards like it? Is this a new card? Molten. Please have this card. Is it a red card? It sounds like a red card, but I don't know for sure. Molten Monstrosity. Here it is. Okay. Red 7 generic 5/5 creature. The spell costs X less to cast, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control with and has trample. With Rotting... Oh, Rotting Regisaur. Well, Rotting Regisaur barely has a place in this game as it is. I mean, I wouldn't play it. I would just play Rotting Regisaur for itself. Like, it doesn't have enough you don't have enough synergy to be playing Rotting Regisaur and then... Like, we don't have enough synergy to play Rotting Regisaur by itself. Forget playing this one. And it's not really an impressive creature, to be honest. It's only a 5/5 with trample. Come on, you can get way better than 5/5 with trample For like 3 mana these days. New Pauper deck invented. I guess that's true. Would work for a fling deck. In Pauper. Okay, what other neat creatures do they have down here? We're going down under. We're going... How low will we go? We got a pirate! What's the pirate doing here? Ramirez de Pietro. Pillager enters the battlefield. You lose 2 life and create 2 treasure tokens. Or at least you paid some life for it. Whenever one or more pirates you control deal combat damage to a player, exile the top card of your library. Exile the top card of that player's library. You may cast that card for as long as it remains exiled. Why is there pirates in Dominaria? Were they close to the Richmond port? When are we going back to Mercadia? Okay, so like there was some news. They're like, we're going back to Eldraine. Why are we not going back to Lorwyn? I don't know. And we're also going back to Ixalan for some reason, which is the apparently, according to Mark Rosewater, was like one of the worst selling sets ever. So that is lucky for the Merfolk fam and the Pirate fam. So if you like pirates, dinosaurs, and Merfolk, you're gonna be happy. Oh, and vampires. What a weird amalgamation of stuff. Oh, there's Rasputin. What the hell? The Russian? White, blue, 1 generic for a 4/1 creature. When Rasputin, the Oniromancer, enters the battlefield. What the hell is a 1 Oniromancer? Put a dream counter on it for each opponent you have. Each opponent creates a 1/1 red goblin creature token. Remove 1 or more dream counters from Rasputin. Add that much generic mana. Or colorless mana. Remove a dream counter from Rasputin. Create a 2/2 white knight creature token with protection from red. This is very interesting. Are we going to get like what's it called? Einstein card one day? I don't know. Is Rasputin a real person, or is that is Rasputin just from a story? I was under the impression that Rasputin is an actual person. It's an old school card. Oh, did they bring it back? Is this a reprint? In Pauper, that thing that you wanted, that's possible. Like Rotting Regisaur is oh, it's not a common. But you know, I would assume anything is possible in Pauper. Rasputin Dream Weaver. Yeah, I know they have Rasputin in, like back then they had a lot of, they blurred reality with fantasy. Unless this is a different Rasputin. How many people are named Rasputin in this world, right? Like this is, I don't think this is a particularly common name. They're all characters from the original Legends set, alright. So they're referring the Legends, the OGs. They are the same characters. What else do we have here? Jedit, Ogenin Mercenary. A lot of legendaries. You hear that, Commander players? Are you excited? You see the word legendary? You get excited over the word legendary? 3/3. When this mercenary or another legendary creature enters the battlefield under your control, you can pay a green. If you do, create a 2/2 green cat warrior creature token with Forest Walk. That's pretty lame. Tetsuo Imperial Champion. Whoa! They're bringing back the whole old gang. Did they bring back everything from Legends? I guess that's the theme. So for Grixis colors, Tetsuo is back. Whenever it attacks, if it's equipped, choose 1. Deals damage equal to the highest mana value among equipment attached to it to any target. You may cast an instant or sorcery spell from your hand with mana value less than or equal to the highest mana value among equipment attached to Tetsuo without paying its mana cost. Sounds completely unplayable, but I'm sure someone will be very excited to build a whole deck around the damn thing. Have you made any plugs yet? Oh yeah, we had the sponsor thing. very short. It's okay. This stream doesn't need to be sponsored. The stream is sponsored by the public, people like you. Yeah, the whole gang is coming back together. I guess this is everything. The ever-changing Dane for Esper colors, 3/3. Sacrifice another creature. The ever-changing Dane becomes a copy of the sacrificed creature except it has this ability. That's crap. Desert Walk? They're bringing Land Walk back! That's the most interesting thing on this. They're bringing Walk of some sort back. Okay, so for Naya colors, you have a 3/3 creature with Desert Walk. And maybe that doesn't look like a big deal, but Land Walk is not an evergreen mechanic. And sure, this is insanely niche, but still. You may play desert lands from your graveyard, and whenever a desert enters the battlefield under your control, create two 1/1 red, green, and white sand warrior creature tokens. Did they errata quicksand to be a desert? Or maybe there's no quicksand's not really a desert thing. It's more of a jungle thing, right? Fun fact, that isn't the first card to ever have Desert Walk. I believe you. Anyway, I'm very interested, and Ixalan's coming up. They might bring back the Forest Walk. Hold on, there's something else that gave Land Walk. It's this thing, token with Forest Walk. They're bringing Land Walk back. Land Walk is coming back. Land Walk will not be in Dominaria. It is, oh, are these the commander cards? None of these are standard legal, by the way, only Eternal. Okay, that makes some sense. But to some extent, they are bringing Landwalk back. Because even if it, well, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they've been printing Landwalk cards for the entire time. Since they took Landwalk off of Evergreen status. What am I even looking at this garbage for then, if this isn't reaching Pioneer or anything else? Anyway, okay, I guess that's a good way to end Coffee and MTG today. As usual, I really appreciate all of you. We do this Monday to Friday, 8 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. And the Cardboard Coffee crew is going to the moon. I'm going to make this channel go to the moon. It has the potential. It's been growing quite a bit, quite fast. Thank you very much, everyone, for their support. Yes, for everyone who has a paywall deck list, if you don't see the stream, you can always check this video, or I'll maybe make a playlist of the deck list reviews, because I probably won't publish them on main, but I'll have them like unlisted on this channel in link form, probably to this video. So check it out, or you know, DM me for the link for it. But thank you very much for joining us today. You guys are the real hardcore fans here. 2.5 hours in. Well, you guys don't work or something? Whatever. I really appreciate that you're here. Or maybe you're here while you work. Making your job a little bit harder. Or maybe a little bit easier. A little bit more comfortable. Maybe making the job harder, but making the time while at the job a lot more fun to be part of the conversation. When you gonna play my deck? Soon. Sometime next week. In like the evening. I'll let you'll probably know in the Discord. I'll let you know in the Discord when all the decks are gonna get played. Second shift life. Sometimes miss the start, but here for the finish. Beautiful. So anyway, as usual, keep brewing up those coffees. We'll keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, Cardboard Coffee crew, and I will see you in the next brew.